Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. One of my personal favorites is Stephen King's It, which they're making into a movie. Again.
Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants Podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
What the fuck are you talking about, atheist? It's okay.
You're nothing, TJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be light.
You're garbage, TJ.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. I'm Ben. We're here to DP the shit out of the news.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah?
I'm Ted. I'm TJ, the great and powerful.
You are?
Hey, TJ, how was CenaCon? CenaCon was great. Did you have
I met Cena. Yes, I met Cena and I sucked his big fat fucking cock. It was way bigger than any cock I've
Fucking
ever seen
thing
before.
sucks.
No way.
Yep. Cena's cock is huge.
It was like bigger than anything you've seen before?
Bigger than even the universe itself.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, TJ. How'd you fit it in your mouth?
I don't even know.
Well,
Cena has magical powers.
I guess so.
But we all know Cena is magic.
And then he kicks out at 2.
Cena. Ryback. Yeah.
Ryback sucks.
Yep.
He's so generic.
Yeah, he's like the new Goldberg, basically.
Goldberg.
He's so terrible.
Goldberg.
TJ.
If Scotty was a wrestler, what would he be? I think he'd be one of the he'd be like a Seth Rollins kind of character.
You think so?
Yeah, he'd be like a
the
chicken heel.
Yeah, chicken heel.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because he's kind of scrawny. He's not really big. And Scotty just kind of has like that persona where you know he could be kind of like the smarmy douchebag character.
That'd be fine with me, man. I get paid a lot of money to be an asshole.
That's true. It's a pretty good job, actually.
Sign
if you
me
think
up.
about it. Ben would be Ben couldn't even do it. He's too small. But I guess I would just be like
Yeah, you're big enough to be a wrestler for sure.
well, if I actually had muscle.
No,
not even necessarily.
There have been fat wrestlers.
That's true. That's true. Bray Wyatt, one of my favorite wrestlers right now, is kind of chunky.
Oh,
He's not
fat.
really one of those like hugely fat wrestlers.
No. I mean, it can do some pretty impressive shit for sure, but I mean, if you train, like even if you, TJ, if you trained for a couple of years, I mean, you could do the same shit if you really wanted to.
TJforwrestling.com. So what's going on?
Well, the first video we have lined up is actually the Vigilant Christian Mario has apologized to you, TJ. He made a video.
Did he apologize for sucking so bad?
No, just to you.
Okay.
For sucking you so bad.
Okay. Because he wasn't very good. It took me like an hour and a half to come. I'm just saying.
How long did it take Cena to come? Or Cena just has unlimited sexual stamina?
Well, Cena just comes perpetually.
Oh, it's like it's what you're
That's
saying.
why he wears jean shorts.
It's like
Yeah.
a fountain, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's nonstop. He's so manly and virile that it just it's like a cum sprinkler. Dun 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 dun, and it comes to that beat. It's like yeah.
That's how I always envisioned it.
And you have envisioned it a lot, I'm sure.
I have, over and over.
Every night.
Actually, you know, my period sex dreams with Barbara Bush, Cena's there in the corner watching.
That's
like,
awesome.
He's like, you know what, Ben, I know you're probably thinking about it. He's probably thinking, my time is now, huh?
My time is in 3 seconds, but it'll only take 2. All right, so here's the Vigilant Christians video.
All right, let's take a look at that shit. The Vigilant Christian. Exposing evil and preaching the good news of Jesus Christ. Member of the CTN Christian Truther Network.
Christian Mario, and you're here for a special video today. I just wanted to make a video to apologize to TJ, the amazing atheist here on YouTube, because
Your
I made
apology
this video,
is not accepted,
Vigilant Christian
bitch.
responds to the not so
Fuck
amazing
yo's.
sheeple atheist and destroys him. And really, that's not how I want to present myself on YouTube. I was probably reacting emotionally, and I was upset because
I don't want to
never was
insult
attacked
people. I
by
just want
anyone,
to talk my
like,
crazy
in
bullshit.
this way before. So, I didn't respond well. So
Right.
this video will be taken down. My apologies for the way that I dealt with the situation. So
Okay.
there you have it. Now, TJ, if you're listening, I also
I am
noticed
listening.
that you and Venom Fang X, another YouTuber, have had your back and forth on YouTube in the kind of same way me and you have gone back and forth.
Okay.
And I saw you do a show, a podcast together, or whatever, a Drunken Peasants show. And it was pretty respectful. I mean,
Yeah.
the dialogue was good. I think that really that's what we should be doing here on YouTube, is opening up opportunities between people who have different worldviews so that we can discuss
Well, that is
some
true.
issues and some disagreements. So
Yep.
if we were to talk about certain things like keeping the swearing down and things like you did with him, I would consider coming on your show and discussing what I know is pretty out there views. But
So he admits that his views are
Right.
quote unquote out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no way to deny that. It's not a mainstream view. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, neither is the atheistic point of view, at least in America.
But in a lot of places in the world, especially like Western Europe and stuff, it is. It's kind of like the majority.
Yeah.
Like the
That
majority.
sucks because I like being part of a minority. Well, at least I'm still fucking bisexual and shit.
You like
I
that
guess.
Green Day song? You want to be the minority?
I wanna be the minority. Yeah.
You've just been flagged.
honestly, I think if me and you discuss them on a live show, Drunken
All right.
Peasants or whatever, that we could find some common ground. I don't think that you're going to be that foolish
we
to
both
believe everything.
breathe
That
oxygen. That's yeah. We're both biological organisms existing on the planet Earth in the 21st century.
I mean, I don't think that you actually hate the Vigilant Christian.
I really don't fucking hate anybody that hasn't
Yeah.
done me explicit wrong.
that's what I'm saying. It's just like
I'm an
we don't agree
asshole
with him,
for the
obviously.
sheer entertainment value. Not even to entertain other people, just to entertain myself. But
Well, why else would you do it?
yeah,
if
but I
it's
mean,
other people,
sure.
what
I
makes
mean,
sense.
I'll have them on, but I mean, let's let the audience decide.
Right. We are taking a poll to decide whether or not we should have the Vigilant Christian on, because a lot of people in our audience have complained about us even covering his videos.
True.
So in the description to this live stream, you will find a link to a poll that we're taking. Should we have the Vigilant Christian on? And there's a few options on there. And looks like a few people voted early. We have 164 votes right now. And it looks like so far the option that's winning is yes, have him on.
So if you're one of these no people that's just like, I hate the Vigilant Christian and think he's a boring fuck, vote no.
Well, the one that's winning is have him on, but not for longer than 30 to 60 minutes.
So basically people are saying we want him on there, but we don't really want a whole show with him.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think it should basically be a discussion between you guys.
Okay.
Because I mean, he obviously has attacked you most of all, and you've attacked him. So I think it's probably best if you guys just have your little dialogue for maybe 30 minutes or so.
Right.
Okay. And the votes are pouring the fuck in.
They are already.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What is it looking like
They're
now?
coming by. Wow, they're coming in quick.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are voting their asses off.
This is Drunken Peasants democracy at work here.
The Drunken Peasants is a democratic society.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We listen to what you say. We should just do the opposite of whatever the audience tells us to do.
That's
If the-
TJ logic.
Yeah, for sure.
That is TJ
I
logic,
know.
isn't it? Someone told me to do something. I'm going to do the opposite inherently and
Hey,
instinctively.
TJ,
What?
don't give me all your money.
All right, well, here, I'll write a check.
There you go. Thanks.
TJ, only eat vegetables for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah, I'm already defining
Yeah.
that one.
government
Damn,
says,
500
and that,
fucking...
if we actually discuss things,
Damn.
Yeah,
Man, people really love this vote and shit.
So what is
Yeah.
so what is the vote so far?
Oh, it's going crazy right now.
It's like at 627.
But what? But
It
what's,
was-
what's
it-
Well,
winning?
it's yes, but for no longer than 30 to 60 minutes
Okay.
is the current winner, with yes trailing, and there's barely any no's really.
okay. So it looks like yes
and
for sure.
there's a few people that don't care either way, but that's like a sliver.
Why would you even vote on that? Like, I don't care. I'll still vote.
I
though.
know, like, if you don't care, just don't even vote. Why is that even a fucking option? Just don't even vote in the fucking
I
hole.
wanted to see how many people were.
Oh, you just were just
indifferent.
apathetic.
I
That makes
get
sense,
you,
I guess.
get you,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you are apathetic, but I mean, the people who are truly apathetic are not even going to go to the
Yeah.
poll. If you're an apathetic piece of shit that doesn't even care, go vote,
Right.
even though that's in defiance of your very nature.
I think in our elections that we have, you should be able to vote like no confidence, so we could actually see
how many people are just like,
You're right.
Meh.
neither one of these fuckers.
None of the above.
Right. I honestly think that should be an option.
Me too.
Yeah,
Now that
sounds
you
good.
mention it.
And
And if that
talked
wins,
about,
then no one's president.
the things that I talk about on my channel, we could clarify a lot of stuff and find a middle ground on a lot of issues.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
This is
Thanks
resolved.
everyone for
Let's go on to
watching.
the next
This is the
thing.
Vigilant Christian saying God.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, and he said he was going to take down the video, and if everyone remembers, that's the video where he's like, I used to get laid, TJ. You're just butthurt because you don't get laid.
That's true.
You know, I have muscles.
I got muscles. You got man tits.
Yeah, so people are still voting. We will reveal the results by the end of the episode here. Unless you want to let it run for a few days after the video actually posts up and people who aren't watching live can
Well,
vote.
it's looking like it's pretty clear that one of the
Yeah.
yeses is going to win, but we'll just run it to the end of the show and make our decision then.
Okay. All right. And before we move on, just want to remind everyone, if you want to support the show, feel free to go to patreon.com/DP.
DP.
Oh yeah.
We've had quite a lot of success so far with that.
Yeah, go to the Drunken Peasants Patreon page and pledge your monies to us so that we can be fucking rich and wealthy. I need a new swimming pool now.
You don't swim really.
I know, but I just want it for decoration.
So you just wanted to look at it and be like, look at my vast world.
Yes.
If you buy TJ a swimming pool, I will get an awkward picture of him swimming around in a t-shirt and post it online.
There you go.
He'll be doggy
So
paddling.
everybody wins.
Everybody gay. I don't even remember what that's from.
Everybody gay.
It's from something.
All right. So
I don't know what I was referencing there, but I know that's from something.
recently in the news, Obama spoke in favor of net neutrality and is urging the FCC to uphold net neutrality. Alex Jones has a different opinion.
Oh, I'm sure.
Why?
Mass murder pills.
I'm going to turn down his music first.
Infowars.com. Is he yelling?
I told you Obama would come out and say that he was going to federalize the internet to protect it.
Uh-huh. Well,
I'm going to break that down. That announcement's been made.
hold on, stop it right now. I mean, the alternative is just letting the corporations control it. I mean, how is that any better? I mean, it's not like anyone is really. I mean, no one's really clamoring for like the government to declare the internet a utility. But when the other option is just letting the telecoms have free reign over it, that looks like a pretty fucking good option.
TJ, let the markets decide.
The market will
Just-
decide.
Yeah, just let the markets
Letting
decide.
the market decide is sometimes a terrible idea.
Even though we pretty much have like a duopoly as far as like our telecom companies, we have like Time Warner, and then we have Comcast in the U.S. I mean, there's a few other ones, but I mean, they're really the big players.
A
And they're-
smattering.
and they're trying to merge right now. So
Yeah, why fuck with a duopoly when you can have a monopoly?
there you go.
Monopoly, motherfucker. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Obama calls for the FCC to protect the internet.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like the mafia 100 years ago in say, New York would say,
I like how he uses the picture of Obama in China where he's wearing like the traditional Chinese clothing.
Where he kind of looks like a Star Trek alien.
He does.
Yeah.
somebody burnt down a grocery store a few weeks ago because they didn't pay for insurance from the family.
Okay.
You might want to, ask us to come in and hire some of our people. And
Whoa.
Obama's a mobster,
and that is a
apparently.
terrible mobster impression.
So he's saying this is basically a protection racket?
I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Alex Jones is retarded.
Keep an eye on the place for you and pay us 20% of what you bring in.
Uh-huh.
And we'll even shut down your competition, and you'll be part of the crew. So the FCC is going to come in and protect the internet. You're going to like, don't let me hurt you. Break your legs. You like your daughter? So, listen to me, you little punk.
What is going on?
Yeah, it's like, cuckoo. This guy is fucking insane.
He must have started taking the mass murder pills.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think he's always taken the mass murder pills, man. So wait, I don't know. I mean, like, obviously I incorporate anger into my presentation of things sometimes. So, I mean, I can't be, like, too critical. But, I mean, like, what is he even talking about? It's just gibberish. Like, you like your drama? Alex Jones! Alex Jones smash! He's so angry.
I know.
About nothing. Literally about just nothing.
About net neutrality.
It's like net neutrality is a good thing. It really is a very good thing.
You know, it's actually, the funny thing is, it's actually would be beneficial to him.
I know, that's the fucked
And he's
up
against
thing.
it.
It's like you make your living on the internet, you have websites, you want fair and equal access to the internet, don't you?
Apparently not.
But apparently no. Apparently he just wants any corporation out there to be able to bend him over.
InfoWars
and fuck
gets
him
a
up
lot
the
of
ass.
traffic and a lot of videos. We need to double your rates. You know, I mean, that's fine. You know, pay more for hosting. That's fine. Pay more for bandwidth. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Apparently
what the
doesn't
fuck?
care.
I mean, he as a fucking internet entrepreneur, he should be all over this shit. Like, yeah, net neutrality. Obama finally did something right, because that's what I said when I saw it. Like, holy shit, Obama's doing something kind of right, even though he's just kind of urging the FCC to do it. It's not like Obama actually has any fucking like real concrete authority over this matter or anything.
You're going to do what we say. We're going to break your legs. Next, you know what we're going to do. You like living like that? Well, you're about to, okay?
Okay.
A nation of sheep will be ruled by wolves, and you beg on your knees to be slaves while these fat, weak cowards...
Is he, like, getting off on this?
Yeah.
Seriously.
And also,
I would think he was jerking off, but both his hands are there.
He's talking about fat, weak cowards, but he is fat.
Yeah.
I mean, like, has he not looked in a mirror? You are a fat dude. I mean, come on.
Sit up there on television and tell you they're lying to your family and tell you they're going to break your bank and bring you under their filthy control and put you in their government housing pens to run your life and bring you down and imprison your children.
Hold on. Have we, like, is he still talking about the internet thing? Because
I don't know.
It's drifted away from that
Do
significantly.
you guys see the Obama thing in the...
Yeah.
Yeah, the little devil.
Yeah,
horn
Obama's
yeah.
the devil as well.
Obama is the devil. He's so pissed about nothing. I wish I could get that angry about nothing.
Children, and you submit to it with pleasure. Well, not me, ever.
Because
Let's go back to this clip of the loving little trendy giggling and snickering with a group of academics about lying to everyone and how powerful it is to lie, how good they are. Oh, yes, here it is.
Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy, man?
When I said John Cena was coming perpetually, I think it's actually Alex Jones.
So that wasn't John Cena.
Yeah, maybe
pull
it
the
was-
switcheroo. Like,
maybe it was Alex
TJ's
Jones'
eyes were
dick
closed,
was
and they just
sucking.
switched off. It's like, time for Alex
Holy
Jones.
shit, John Cena, your muscle feels a lot like flab. Shut up.
I think
Shut
he's
up
got
and close your eyes.
I think Alex Jones has a little cum bucket under his desk because it seems like he's orgasming as he's speaking.
As he spews his nonsense.
And at the end of the show, he donates the bucket to starving orphans.
How nice of him.
Yeah.
I don't believe in starving orphans. Prove to me a starving orphan exists, amazing
G-Man
atheist.
and the masters of stupidity.
Why are we even bringing G-Man into this?
This bill was written in a tortured way to make sure
makes
CBO
about
did
as
not
much
score the
sense.
mandate as taxes. If CBO scored the mandate as taxes, the bill dies. Okay, so it's written to do that. Look, I wish Mark was right. We can make it all transparent, but I'd rather have this law than not. So it's kind of like his reporter story. You know, yeah, there's things I wish I could change, but I'd rather have this law than not.
So, lie to get something because you're the good guys, and that's a lie, too. Here is the headline. Obama says FCC should reclassify internet as a utility protected and run like water by the government. Oh, yes. And then they subdivide it and sell it off as special interest, and the inventor of the internet, no, it's not Al Gore.
That's what they're trying to prevent, though.
That's what they're doing now. What is he talking about?
They're trying to prevent it being controlled by private interests. That's the whole objective here. I don't.
I have no idea.
Why is this guy popular? I mean, like, is there really like a significant number of people who just watch this? Like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
More than you.
He's actually syndicated on different radio stations across the country.
I need to what am I even doing with trying to be rational and logical? I should just go fly off the fucking handle and just say crazy shit. It'd be better. I'm done with it. I'm just gonna be like Alex Jones now.
Just talking about the FEMA death camps, and you'll get an audience.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking beyond that.
What
I'm
are you
gonna
gonna
start
say?
talking about how Obama is working with a syndicate of Illuminati, alien, Satanist vampires, scheme to control the world's diamond supply, and I don't even know. It's just gonna be very convoluted. I'm gonna write it all out tonight.
Sounds good to me.
It's gonna be there, and it's gonna knock your socks off. The truth. You're gonna learn the real truth about what's going on in the Obama administration, the so-called Obama administration. We know his name's not Obama. His name is Nick II Klort von Zickdow. Alien overlord sent here to rule humanity.
What's his name?
I don't remember now. I can't do that again.
He's only the truth only possesses TJ for a moment because Obama has his rays to control people's minds.
Yeah, Obama felt me uncovering the truth, and he used his intergalactic mind control radiation to immediately erase it from my mind.
Yeah.
Intergalactic mind
To
control
block your neural
radiation.
pathways, TJ. You're just like, oh, obey Obama, obey
Obama.
Obama.
Obama is my master. Obama is my
president
master.
for life. Obey Obama. Obey Obama. Obey Obama.
Stories over in England, others have said this plan worldwide is being pushed.
Hail
They're trying
Obama.
to line it up right
Hail
now
Hitler.
with the Asian Pacific Partnership
won,
that cedes
APS.
control to select corporations that then operate through government.
Okay.
That treaty's secret, but it got leaked last year, as you know. President Obama has come out in support of reclassifying internet service as a utility, a move that would allow the Federal Communications Commission to enforce.
There he goes.
Oh, yeah.
I've been naughty. Oh, yeah.
Spank me, Obama. Spank my big fat naughty ass, yeah. Ooh, regulate the internet like a utility, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah, I like it when you do me like that, Obama.
Enforce more robust regulations and protect net neutrality. Do you really believe that?
Yeah.
Key robust regulations to put
I
these
do.
protections in place. I'm asking the FCC to reclassify
Sorry,
internet
I
service
do believe
under
that.
Title II of the new law
Okay.
known as Telecommunications Act. Obama says in a statement this morning, in plain English, you can keep your doctor if you want your doctor. Raising the debt limit doesn't raise the debt limit. You didn't build your business. It's always the same thing. In plain English, I'm asking the FCC to recognize that for most Americans, the internet has become an essential part of everyday communication and everyday life. Yeah, this has been the plan for a decade. Free, quote, Wi-Fi that's paid for by taxpayers, but you have no rights on that Wi-Fi, and you can't get to Infowars.com or DrudgeReport.com.
Okay.
DrudgeReport.com. That's not even a crazy... I mean, that's a right-wing site, but it's not like a conspiracy
Too
site.
extremely
like his
reliable.
bullshit.
So he's saying if this net neutrality thing goes through,
Okay, so
you won't be able to get to
when
Infowars?
this happens and people can still get to Infowars.com and Drudge Report, is he going to rescind this? Is he gonna? I mean, like once all this shit goes down and people can still access his site just as well as they ever could, is he going to rescind these statements and say, "I'm sorry, I was wrong"?
No.
Of course not.
Okay, because he's a fucking dishonest, disingenuous, fat piece of shit, and I'm a fat piece of shit too. Just putting that out there, but you know, and I'm probably dishonest and disingenuous in my own ways, but still, he is too. Fuck you, Alex Jones. I think what the internet's really clamoring for is for me and Alex Jones to have a nude oil wrestling match.
No.
Yeah. I think that's what people want. That should be the real poll, Ben, if people want to see that or not.
People should just tweet that to Alex Jones.
Yeah, just tweet to Alex Jones right now that you want to see him and me do a naked oil wrestling match and that you would pay out the nose to see that and that you... Like, your life isn't even complete until that happens.
What does the winner get, and what happens to the loser? There has to be a consequence for losing.
Okay.
Banana? No.
If I win, then I get to shove a banana up his ass, and if he loses, then he has to... if I win... I'm going to win, so I just get to shove a banana up his ass. But I guess if I lose by some chance, he has to give me all his money. So that's fair.
That the White House officials have said they want to shut down, basically.
Okay. When?
So this is it. They're coming.
When?
Drums
Hold
to the
on,
deep.
pause. When did the White House officials say they wanted to shut down InfoWars and Drudge Report?
I have no idea.
When did that happen? I have not seen that news.
Thursday.
Okay.
Look at his fucking face.
Well, I mean, anyone can have an unflattering fucking face if you pause it at the right time.
Whatever, TJ.
But, you know.
Unfortunate for you, TJ, your face is never flattering.
He looks like he just
You're
took a
garbage, TJ!
big hit of some really good weed, and now he's just kind of like, yeah, clearing his throat or something. Yeah.
TJ.
What?
You're garbage.
What kind of watch is that?
I don't know.
He wears a watch. He believes in time. What a fucking sucker. Oh, the temporalists have got to him. He thinks there's such a thing as time. What a naive moron. What an imbecile. An imbecile.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next video. This video is...
I want to look at Alex Jones more.
Okay, I'll just...
I want to see his beautiful face. Me and you, Alex, nude oil wrestling, just
Fuck
like
it.
the Greeks used to do.
Fuck it! Suck it!
Hey, TJ.
Fuck it!
And the good news for Alex is that my penis is really small, so if yours is even normal size, it'll look huge in comparison. So this will be a very flattering event for you.
Hey, TJ.
What?
You're garbage.
I know.
Hey, TJ.
What?
You're still garbage.
Okay.
I'm a bisexual.
Yeah, let's move on. This is lame.
I want to marry a guy and a babe.
Me too.
There you
Next.
go, TJ. You and Bill, man.
Next.
All right, so next video rather is entitled "What Gender Are You?"
I don't know.
I'm Andrew Clavin, and this is The Revolting Truth. Many of you may remember a time when women were tender and nurturing and modest, and men were strong and protective and courtly. Actually, you might be remembering the movie Meet Me in St. Louis, but I'm sure reality also used to be great. Today, though, all across America, gender norms are...
Why is that?
This is completely terrible.
Why
so
is
far.
that even? Why would that be preferential exactly? Why is it preferential for people to be we have certain behavioral characteristics that are designated to you based upon nothing more than your gender, and don't take your individual characteristics into account at all.
Based solely on tradition.
That's wonderful. I love just behaving in a certain way because of some arbitrary fact of my birth. That's great. I can't wait to succumb to that. Shit used to be
Sounds
good. If you're a man, you gotta be tough and manly. If you're a woman, you gotta be, prissy and proper. And that's how, when shit was like that, it used to be good.
Because we know everyone will fall exactly into one of those
And
two
also,
categories.
just looking at this guy, does he exude any sort of great manliness to you? Because no.
I think he may secretly be a woman.
Like if you put a wig on him, he'd just look like an ugly ass woman. So
you see this guy riding around the Old West with a fucking rifle in one hand, fucking writing out and shit. I don't see that.
I mean, like I could punch this guy out.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, okay, I mean, if I punch this dude solidly in the face, he'd be knocked the fuck out. I'm just saying. So, whatever. And I'm wearing nail polish.
Under question. Laws are being passed to allow people to choose their gender identities. And Time magazine, always on the cutting edge of irrelevance, has declared transgenderism the new civil rights frontier. What's it all about? Let's get at the revolting truth.
Okay.
Gender theorists today believe that the different behaviors and capabilities of men and women are not a reflection of their natural propensities and desires, but were imposed on them by the gender stereotypes of society, which were created at the Conference of the Gender Stereotype Society, held in 1817 at a secluded chateau on the shores of Lake Geneva.
Okay.
It was there that it was determined by secret...
I like how like it's a horror movie or something.
That's
so funny.
So that's supposed to be like a joke. I
Yeah,
guess.
obviously he's going for the
Ha 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 ha.
ballot that from now on, men would be able to invent things and lie convincingly about their sexual conquests, while women would talk a lot about clothes and then make dinner.
Okay.
These oppressive and confining stereotypes were imposed on the population of the entire globe through repeated exposure to televised football and the movie Cinderella, as well as Archie comics dropped from planes on primitive villages, where up to that point people had been living lives of complete gender equality. According to UC Berkeley's Gender Equity Resource Center, there are actually a wide range of gender identities. There's cisgender, a person who conforms to society's expectations of his sex. Gender diverse, which could include a boy who breaks free of gender norms in order to enjoy musical comedy and get punched in the face out and back of the gym. And there's transgender, a person who changes from, say, male to female in hopes of sneaking into the girls' bathroom or winning every race at women's track meets.
What?
I just can...
I want to sneak into the girls' bathroom. You don't have to change genders. You can just put on a fucking wig. Shave your beard, put on a wig. Go in there.
I can't get over the irony of the fact that this guy is like coming out like I support traditional gender roles, and he just looks like such a little wuss. I mean, like, if this was some like big fucking Ryback looking motherfucker who was like, yeah, men used to be men, I'd be like, well, I could see why he'd think that. But this like pussy looking,
the smarmy little weasel,
Yeah, like it just looks like you could step on him.
We all know this is a bunch of bullshit. Now time for some more bad
men
jokes.
used to be men,
So
not
sick
anymore.
of it. So sick of it.
Nah.
It's
I don't know.
To ensure respect for these otherly oriented individuals, or oddballs, the center provides gender-neutral pronouns, which can be used to refer to a person without giving away the fact that he's just some guy in a dress. For instance, instead of he or she, you can use Z, and instead of him or her, you can use here.
Okay,
as in the sentence Z.
I actually agree that like the alternative pronoun stuff is just confusing and stupid. So I'll give him that.
Z is here. Although actually it should be Z is Z, unless Z is actually here, but that's neither here nor there. Though some different gender identities are unusual, gender theorists consider them all normal, a word which the dictionary defines as usual. So, though to call something unusual normal would be unusual, it's not unusual among gender theorists who are abnormal.
Okay, so hold on. So the problem that I'm having right now is that the like human beings just encompass such a wide array of different behaviors and norms that when you say something is normal in the context of a human being, it means like, this is not some sort of like deviant behavior or disorder or something like that. But this is like actually just a valid way of being and existing. That's what normal means in that context. It doesn't mean normal as in, this is how everyone is, because people are very like if you go like even if you just go from place to place, geologically on the earth, people are very different from each other. There's cultural differences, there's individual differences, there's personality differences from person to person. Like some people are fucking extremely hot-headed, and some people are really cool under pressure, and some people have all sorts of different fucking characteristics. So just because someone might have like a non-traditional gender identity doesn't automatically mean that there's something wrong.
Shut up, liberal.
That's all that's saying. Okay.
Sounds like a load of bullshit.
Sounds like a bunch of hippy-dippy bullshit. All men should be like John Wayne, and
all men need to go to the factory, work their 9 to 5 or whatever their shift is, go home, better be a hot meal on the fucking table.
House better be clean.
House better be spotless, and the woman better be ready for sex. That's it. Then pop them babies out, and that's all they need to do.
Real man raise his family good.
Uh-huh.
Clear. Or Zier.
Zier.
Meet me in St. Louis, meet me.
What is wrong with this guy?
I am sorry, sir. You are not funny. Please stop. Thank you.
I kind of just wish I wish he would just come out and say like his bigoted bullshit without some pretense of like, I'm gonna do it in a funny way.
I wish that bald eagle would come to life and start like attacking him. Just be like, you are not representing America. Oh, stop! Oh, shit! God! Oh, why?
His attempts at being funny are just like agony.
But the revolting truth.
Okay.
You're revoltingly
Thank
stupid.
God it's over.
That's about it. Revoltingly
Ben
stupid.
Shapiro's Revolting Truth. Why is it that every single fucking crazy motherfucker out there always purports to be telling like some truth?
Right.
Like, every time I see anything with the word truth or true in it, I'm just, like, immediately absolutely skeptical.
Like truthers.
Yeah, like...
Do you remember in the Lucifer...
Truth!
Do you remember in the Lucifer Principle and Howard Bloom kind of touches upon that? Like, when people are fighting for a cause, they want justice. But then when they achieve their goals or they're in power, they want peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's all these different words. Like, truth is like, oh, we're being lied to, so I'm trying to reveal the truth to you because that sounds really good to people. Like, hey... I just want to tell you the truth.
You ever just feel like the world in general is bullshit?
Would you trust someone that came up to you and said, hey, I just want to tell you a bunch of fucking bullshit and lies? You're going to be like, well, no, of course not.
It's like in that game, like, was it Red Dead Redemption, where that guy introduces himself as like,
Honest Pete.
Honest Pete.
I'm Honest Pete.
I'm Honest Pete. And immediately like, oh, this guy is fucking full of shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying,
And that's like how I feel about this. It's like, I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay, so basically you're going to tell me your opinion and then just say it's the truth. Okay.
Gotcha. You should go around introducing yourself as Honest Tom. I'm Honest Tom.
I'm Honest Tom. Never did a lie escape these lips. And you can believe it because I said it. And as I said before, I'm Honest Tom.
The best thing about that is it's all complete fabrication. So it's like you're telling them one thing and obviously it's just total bullshit. Do you really need to do that? You should go somewhere to see how someone reacts to that. We should just find some stranger and be like, I'm Honest Tom, how are you doing? Just to watch the reaction, like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And we need to film it for the Drunken Peasants, so people can see it as well. Ben can be in the bushes.
We can call him. He can introduce himself as Devious Ben.
I am so devious.
I'm Devious Ben.
I need to grow like one of those long handlebar mustaches so I can twist it in my
face. Oh, yeah.
I shall tie you to the tracks, Honest Tom.
Can I be just like sardonic Scotty, I guess?
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
All right. Here's a video. I can't even really introduce it. It speaks for itself.
All right.
Let's get atheism.
Hi, folks.
Out of public
welcome to my walk. We're going to have a little talk today about our public school system.
Okay.
I want to see how many people see things like I do. If you're like the average American, you believe a certain number of things, and one of those things that you believe is that...
Wait, I have a question first. Like, if she's like, let's go for a walk, couldn't you just be outside? Do you really need to see this, like, this weird camera angle? Can't you, like... There's actually these sticks you can buy for your camera or your smartphone or whatever where you can just stabilize it. That's the next thing.
Also, like, why does the why does that part even need to be in it where she's saying, like, we're going to go do this stuff
I
and
know,
talk about
it's-
this stuff? Like, why don't you just get into the fucking topic?
That's what I'm saying. That's how you know she's fucking.
That's
pretty
why,
much
like,
nuts.
last week when you guys were talking about that dude that, you know, was the Earth doesn't rotate. At least he just jumped into it, you know? It was just like, the video begins, hey, guys, Earth doesn't rotate.
Oh yeah, and
It's
by
a
the
lie.
way, we fully
fucking
acknowledge
lie.
that me. Well, I can say this, that the moon does rotate. We're stupid.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. I was actually in my hotel room watching you guys. I'm like, why are they saying the moon doesn't rotate?
Yeah, we're morons.
It does rotate.
On that topic, we were stupid.
But I think it was just because Paul said it so authoritatively that you guys just went along
yeah,
with it.
I actually was kind of skeptical, but I didn't say anything. I was like, maybe. Oh, but Paul's so sure. So I mean, I just figured he knew what the fuck he was talking about. I guess.
But you were wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. I didn't say anything. So.
It's Paul's ego's fault, folks.
No.
He
No, we
misled
should.
you guys.
No, we all agreed.
We all agreed.
No, it was just a Paul.
No.
Fuck you, Paul.
All right, whatever.
You
Paul
didn't
is
come from a
garbage.
monkey. Just
Okay.
somehow, over millions of years, the monkeys climbed out of the trees or whatever they did, and they turned into people, which
that sounds
is
good.
what naturalistic
Yeah, sure.
evolution.
What is
te-
flying around her head? What is that thing?
Hopefully, it's a bee trying to sting her.
I think it looks like it's. I don't know what the fuck that is.
You know what? Like in like ancient times or something, you hear about people getting infections and then they go crazy. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it'll be the reverse. She'll get stung by a bee, have an infection, and become sane. Maybe that'll happen here. We can only hope.
I mean, this chick and G-Man should get together, just based on what I've heard so
Hey,
far.
that's a
The monkeys came down from
Dude.
the trees and became people.
Dude, we need to introduce
easy.
them. We'll send G-Man a message. G-Man, we found true love for you, man.
I mean, like, if she just watched one video, like one little, like, 3 to 5 minute video on YouTube about evolution, all that shit would be dispelled.
It's all bunk.
Like, if she just, I mean, like, if like, it'd be like, can you imagine, like, Richard Dawkins or something coming up on stage and be like, I am a scientist, and we have discovered that monkeys came down from trees
And then
and
for
just
millions of
became
years,
people,
yeah,
magically.
became people.
Like, if that was the theory of evolution, everyone would be like, what?
Yeah, like really?
Huh? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I wonder if she's gonna go into the "it's just a theory" thing. I hope she does.
I don't.
I hope she does.
teaches. That's what they're teaching your kids in school. That's what they're teaching.
No, it's not. No.
Taught my kids, my grandkids in school.
Good.
Atheistic science. It's natural science. It's science that leaves out any reference to God. Which,
Okay, so what?
if God is responsible for us being here, which is what maybe 70 or 80% of Americans
I have a
believe-
question. Why don't they when they're teaching about like the kids about like the water cycle or something like condensation, evaporation, precipitation, all that shit? Why don't they say like, why are they leaving out God?
Dude, it's more this begging the question bullshit. If God is responsible for everything, then why aren't we telling our children about him? It's like you're not.
The Bible clearly says that there's
God,
God
shut
separated the
up.
waters of the ground
She
and the
doesn't
waters of the
understand what
sky
evolution is.
and opens the firmament to make
I
it
doubt she has
rain.
any understanding what science is. She's just like, they just need to be teaching creationism in the Bible in school. It's like, then send your kids to a Christian school.
Why don't you even just, I mean, like, why even have a science class? Why not just be like, you just have one book, you open it up, there's 3 words. God did it. Okay.
God done did it.
Well, that's 4.
God done did it sounds better.
God done did that.
Just have the Bible. You just have the
Don't you
Bible on
know
every
that?
desk and just be like, this is all you need to know. What about math? That's not important.
Why would we support a system that would teach that's not how we got here?
Because there's
Furthermore,
Okay, well, here's why.
atheists
Because science actually has a track record and is provable and you know,
Observable,
observable
testable.
and testable and can be disproven if something is actually incorrect.
And that's why science doesn't even bring up God at all. Science doesn't try to disprove God. Science doesn't try to prove God. Science has nothing to do with God.
It's a total waste of time. No scientist would even waste their time on that. That's a total waste of time.
So the things that your children and grandchildren learned in school had nothing to do with God. It's science.
Right.
They never should the two cross.
science is based on a religion. Did you know that atheism is being classified as a religion?
It's not.
Do you know that a religious
even if it was classified as a religion, that would be an incorrect classification.
Yeah, I don't know. What does she mean classified? There's not like some
official.
I mean, if you're talking about like the Pew Foundation or something, where they're just saying, okay, what do you believe? Like, I'm an atheist. Then sure, that's fine. But
but where is there like a classification of religions though?
I mean, does she? I don't know exactly what she is referring to. It's just some babble. But I mean, like the only context I can see that making sense if you're talking about if you ask someone like, do you have religious beliefs? Like, yes, I'm a Christian, 30%, whatever. But, I mean, as far as, like, an atheist organization, like, this represents all atheists, that doesn't exist, and nor would it.
Thought process that makes a statement not only on how we got here from monkeys, but it makes a statement on where we're going to nothing. That thought process.
The fact that she keeps saying monkeys just shows how ignorant she is.
Right, and the thing is that you can be religious and accept the theory of evolution. You can be religious and accept the Big Bang. Hell, the fucking Pope came out and fucking said that shit not too long ago.
Not a real Christian, by the way.
Not a real Christian, anyway.
Okay, fine, but you can be other fucking denominations of Christianity and still believe that shit. I mean, it's not like you have to. It's not like you have to deny evolution as a fucking prerequisite for being a Christian.
Yeah, it's funny that she says monkeys because what's our closest relative? The bonobo or the chimpanzee?
The bonobo.
The bonobo. Okay, and that's an ape. So she's a fucking idiot.
But apes and monkeys are pretty.
I mean,
the
yeah,
same
they're
thing
similar,
anyway.
obviously.
Primates.
But
yeah, I mean,
primates,
like we are primates. We are classified as primates.
No, we were made in God's image. You're an idiot. Shut up.
Well, God is a primate too.
Oh, maybe so.
He's the monkey god.
That religious thought.
I hope he's like one of those smoking monkeys.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
he's like
he's smoking a blunt though.
I got a pretty good
smoking
visual
a blunt.
of like a monkey with a big white beard smoking on a cloud.
If anyone wants to draw that in our audience and send it to us, we will definitely use it.
I saw this documentary about monkeys that live in New Delhi. And some of them are addicted to cigarettes, and they'll like go down and steal cigarettes from people and light them themselves and sit there and smoke them.
That is awesome.
I would give a monkey a cigarette.
I wouldn't give them the cigarette, but if I saw them do it, I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I'd give him the cigarette.
Man, fuck
I know you
TJ.
would.
You're trying to kill that poor little monkey.
What are you talking about? Monkey wants that shit. Let the monkey make his own decisions.
Is part of our school
I guess you're right.
system. Think about that. Is that what you want? It's not what I want.
Yeah, that's what I want.
If you're with me, like this video, we need to do something about it. We can't have this.
There's plenty of
This
people
is
here else
America.
doing something about it.
This
We are not
America, land of the
atheists.
stupid.
Wait. This is America. Okay, that statement just defeated everything you said because America is supposed to be a democracy. So if more people want it to be based on scientific fact and evidence, then it should be on that basis. It shouldn't just be, well, this is our religious belief, so you should just go along with that. It's one segment of the population who has Christian beliefs. And if they want to do that, that's fine. If they want to open a Christian school
Yes.
without tax dollars, without any support, all privately funded, then I'm totally fine with it. But in public schools, it has no place.
Or
Well,
homeschool your kids.
Another thing is that, I mean, America might be a democracy, but science is not a fucking
No,
democracy.
it's not.
Like,
For sure.
we don't get to vote on what the facts are. We don't
No.
get to say, like, well, more people believe this, so that's true. It's like, that's not how it works.
But I'm saying, obviously, our political system does cross over into these issues.
Right.
Like, we have school boards that make decisions like a place like Texas and Kansas and Louisiana, you know what I mean? So, obviously, if people who are not, proponents of science don't stand up against these people, then they'll run roughshod over everything. So you have to make it a political issue.
I ain't trust no damn scientist myself.
Yeah, they don't trust physicians or scientists unless they want them to save their lives. Then please help them. You know what I mean?
I found a video of someone criticizing you, TJ. Could you believe it?
What?
I've never heard of that before.
Ben, are you sure they're criticizing TJ?
Right.
There must be some kind of mistake.
And it seems like maybe they don't like him.
I don't know. I've never had that happen
What?
before. I mean, usually I'm universally popular and well loved.
I think this video must be a troll or something. There's no way anyone doesn't love TJ.
Yeah.
I want to respond to the Amazing Atheist regarding a video he uploaded recently about different feminist comics from Tumblr.
Tumblr.
I think he's made a lot of bad remarks about them, remarks that aren't really true. I've not really made a video before, but I really felt like this needed to be pointed out.
Okay.
Sure.
Point it
It's
out,
dumb as
buddy.
shit, really.
Dumb as shit.
So this feminist comic is basically saying, we prefer the naive and insecure Kitty portrayal of a female character to her more confident and infinitely more badass comic book version.
Do you want to expand on that really quick before we play?
Yeah, because he really didn't provide much context
Okay.
in it. I was responding to a comic that basically it showed like some little girl who grew up with the Starfire in the cartoons, and then when she read the Starfire in the comics, she became jaded. And I guess that a lot of people actually did come to me and tell me that in DC's big new 52 relaunch, Starfire was poorly written in some of those initial comics, and that's probably what that was referring to. And so maybe I actually was, not as well informed on that as I thought I was at the time, but overall, if you look at the Starfire from the comics, I mean, it's a far better character in terms of being a role model for women than the Starfire from the cartoon, who is, more naive and passive and insecure and so on and so forth.
First of all, upvoting somebody's personal issues with a comic doesn't mean that they share those personal issues. It just means that they think it's okay that other people have these issues with something.
I'm sorry, I don't
similarly,
even. Hold on.
It's like
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
I lost.
Dude, if you're
totally
gonna make a
lost me.
video in response to someone else, at least one, put it in context. That's an informal logical fallacy. Two, actually explain what the fuck you're referring to.
Because I don't even understand what he's saying.
We don't inherently just understand what you're saying. You have to provide us some sort of context.
I mean,
which you're failing to do.
Did either of you guys get what he's coming from right there?
No.
I don't get it. I don't even understand what the fuck he just said.
Like if someone
Well, maybe he's
posted
gonna
to
expand on
the Civilization subreddit, game Civilization, and they said they were having this issue with this game, and I voted. It's not because I hate the game. It's because I think that...
Oh, okay, I see what he's saying.
Okay, what?
He's saying that just because the post that I criticized was popular, that doesn't mean that people agree with it? I don't know.
Okay, well...
I mean, obviously they find some merit in it.
How many people shared or liked that thing on Tumblr that you're...
I don't remember. It was in the tens of thousands.
Yeah,
or
tens
maybe
of thousands.
Perhaps hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
I can't
but
recall.
You're not allowed to criticize it because some people liked it doesn't mean they agree with it, but they still liked it. And isn't that what the hard thing on Tumblr means? Is that you like the post, you agree with it? Like,
I mean, Tumblr just has notes, so I mean, you don't really know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's people responding to it. Sometimes it's even people disagreeing with it. So not every note necessarily.
But
has
based
the
upon the past
connotation of
experience,
approval, but
based upon a past experience of dealing with Tumblr, I doubt many people are like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, most of it is positive reception of the comic.
Sure, I'm sure there's people that criticize
and
it, but they're probably few and far between. Like,
my main accusation was just like, are you guys even really familiar with the character of Starfire to be making this analysis? I mean, do you really understand? Like, she was voted one of the top 25 DC superheroes overall. So, I mean, like, this is a very popular character who is confident.
You don't know anything,
who is
TJ.
sexually liberated.
You're a sexist.
Okay.
Shut up, sexist.
Is worthy of some note and some discussion.
Okay.
And this is the case here. It doesn't mean that, I mean...
What?
Just...
He's not even responding to
I've never
the
seen
part of the
show
video that he
Teen Titans.
played.
I've never read a comic book in my life.
Well, what the fuck are you... How are you...
What? Wait.
Stop.
I've never read a comic book in my life.
He's not seen the show I'm talking about. He's not read the comics I'm talking about. And yet he has this very strong opinion about why I'm a dumbass for my analysis.
Yeah, maybe he should have actually looked into this issue, and maybe if he was actually a fan of this, character, and it's like, I really understand it better than you, and I'm going to explain it to you. It's like, okay, I welcome that. Instead, it's like, I don't know shit about this, but I just know you're a fucking idiot.
I'm done.
Yeah, fuck this
I'm
guy.
done with this. This is garbage.
Yeah, this is not even...
This is a lower caliber of garbage than I'm even willing to address.
Wow. All right, then we'll move on to the next one here.
Hey, what's up, girl?
What's up, girl?
Somebody's acknowledging you.
You should say thank you, Mo.
Damn, girl, you fine.
We already saw this shit.
Right. They're going to talk about it.
Yeah, but obviously CNN's going to say something.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's the video that so many people have been talking about. A woman being catcalled over and over as she walks through the streets of New York. A viral video. Marketing agency actually made this video featuring this actress for an anti-street harassment group called Holla Back.
Okay,
Joining me now to talk.
So, but one thing, I don't know if we pointed out this last time we watched this video, but this video is like 3 minutes long after she walked through New York City for what was it, 12 hours?
10 hours.
10 hours. So they got 3 minutes of catcalls in 10 hours.
Did you see that? They've actually, a guy made a video.
Right.
Okay.
A guy, he's like kind of, he's in good shape and
like
he's
a model
tall.
or something. Yeah. And they were doing the same thing to him.
Yep.
But it's just, but no matter how, it doesn't matter if it happens to men too. It's just a women's issue because they've declared it to be so. Reality doesn't matter.
I saw one where I don't fully understand what the point of it was, but I saw one where they had a decent looking girl walking around kind of in the same way as this, and she got catcalled, and then they had her walk around in a hijab, and no one said anything to her.
I guess the point is that women should wear hijabs.
There you go.
Probably.
About this video and the controversy surrounding it. Amanda Seales, a stand-up comedian who has been featured on VH1's Best Week Ever.
Oh, God.
And Steve Santagati, author of Code of Honor and the best-selling book, The
I hate
Manual.
those. Can we just have, as a brief aside, I hate any show where they just have like really shitty cut rate comedians reacting to clips. And I know that's kind of what we are in a way, but like when it's on TV and they can't even curse or say or make anything that's really risque or edgy or anything.
Lame.
And they always just make these really like hackneyed, corny fucking jokes, and you have to sit there and it's almost just painful to watch. Like I remember I was watching TV the other day and it was like one of those shows like 20 stupid stunts gone wrong or some nonsense like that. And I'm like, I just want to see the people fall down. I really don't care what fucking Leif Garrett has to say about it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's one of the guys on there. It's like Leif Garrett comes on and he's like,
what a fucking has-been.
Some guy like, falls on his face and he's like, oh, how about a cement sandwich or some shit like that. You're just sitting there like, God, these fucking comedians are bigger fail than these guys falling flat on their fucking faces. This is disgusting. And since when is Leif Garrett a fucking comedian anyway?
He's not.
Leif Garrett is a punchline to a joke, not something that dispenses jokes, for fuck's sake.
Wasn't he big in like the 70s or something?
Yeah, he was like the Bieber of the 70s.
Yeah, then he became a fucking heroin junkie and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Now he's just a fucking washed up guy. And you're talking about like True TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on True TV.
I doubt they have that overseas, but
who cares? Fuck
they
those overseas
should.
bastards.
Let's export that. Let's be our American export. We'll send in really bad American shows to other countries.
Yeah. We do really bad American versions of their shows.
I know. We need to export those shows back. Like, you had this show, we made it worse and sent it back to you. Please enjoy.
Awesome.
Okay, so Amanda, you first. Is too much being made of this video? Or, what is the message that you get or that you and your friends and colleagues have been talking about as a result of seeing the video?
Oh, I live this life every day. So for me, this is like...
And how are you interpreting this? Are you interpreting this as compliments? Are you annoyed by it? What?
No, this is not complimentary. Which is funny because I think guys think that by letting you know that they would be interested in sleeping with you, that is a compliment. And actually, it's really just objectifying me when I'm trying to walk in my daily life. I have a whole 15-minute set on stage about this, about God bless you, ma, about yo, I see you, ma, you're supposed to be smiling. Women are expected to, the minute we leave the house, we are expected to be smiling and available for whatever men want to say to us. And don't get me wrong.
That's bullshit.
Hello.
That's bullshit.
Okay. I don't
go out in the world and expect every woman I meet, they need to be nice to me and smile at me and all. And
there's like a very specific group of men, and most of them are black. I'm sorry, but it's fucking true.
Racist.
It's true. Just watch
You're
the video.
Racist.
Just watch the fucking video.
Everyone knows
90% of the
TJ
guys
is
that
now
fucking
racist.
catcall
Hey, Ben.
these people are black dudes.
TJ racist?
I mean, come
Ben,
on.
Ben just admitted you're a racist,
Don't
too.
deny the fucking very evidence of your eyes.
Everyone knows TJ's a racist.
But, there's a very specific group of guys that act this way, and can't we just all agree that they are assholes, and this is not some, like, cultural thing that everyone just approves of, and if you have a penis, you're like this?
Well, that's the whole point. There's no nuance to their
But
argument.
are you not saying it's a cultural thing by pointing out that it's black people doing it?
Well, maybe it's a black thing. I don't fucking know. I don't pretend to understand their fucking whatever cultural, subcultural, whatever bullshit. Fuck that. All I'm saying is that this is not like every guy is going out like, hey, beautiful, how you doing, good looking? Yeah.
But is it the feminist counterpoint when they point out not every guy? That's just an excuse.
Yeah, they make fun of that. They're like, oh, you're one of those not every man sort of
this
things.
sounds like some mansplaining.
I'm sorry, but what's wrong with saying that? What's wrong with pointing out that you guys are basically saying that all men do this, so what's wrong with me saying no they fucking don't? It's not even the fucking majority.
They're saying I think what she's trying to argue is not even, and even what you're trying to argue is like, she's trying to say that as a whole culture, we all expect women to be like this, even other women. Just that's the expectation.
I don't give a fuck. If you want to be a woman and you don't.
But I don't agree with that.
You want to fucking walk
true.
down the street with a scowl on your face and fucking just be a mean fucking cunt to everybody.
That's none of
I
my
don't even
business.
give a shit. I don't care. I don't care if you're fucking unattractive. I don't care what the fuck you want to do. And I think guys that catcall are fucking assholes.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I totally agree. That's like they should just be able to walk.
But
and not be
some of these
bothered.
guys in this video weren't even catcalling. Like if someone
They're
says
like, hello,
like, hey, how you doing? That to me is not catcalling.
It's not. I don't understand. It's like no one's supposed to talk to you.
If it's like, hey, baby, how's it going?
Or like, yeah, or like, damn, you fine. Like I can understand
Yeah,
that.
like, ooh, where you been all my life, gorgeous? Some shit like that. Okay, that's fucking crossing the line. That's inappropriate. But if you're just like, hey, what's up? That's not fucking catcalling. It's not even fucking close. It's not even the same
anyone that
realm.
acknowledges or looks at these women in any way are catcalling, by their definition. If someone's like, hi, you're catcalling.
Yeah, I mean, if you just say like, hey, what's up? Oh, you're a fuck. Oh, you just think
you're trying to get around.
You
her,
think you're
"Excuse me."
entitled to women's bodies? Did you hear what that male said to me? He said, "Hey, how's it going?" What a fucking pig. How disgusting
It's
is
fine.
that?
Like, I'm from Grenada in the West
come
Indies.
on.
If someone says hello and you don't say hello back, that is actually considered rude. But a lot of these men, they're not just saying hello. They say hello, and when you say hello back, what that means is that's an invitation to now holler at you. And I can see you shaking your head, but you are not an expert on this, my brother, because you are not a woman walking in the street. So you did.
No, but I am more of an expert.
So no one else can say anything. You're not a woman walking down the street, therefore your opinion is valid and you're not allowed to have one.
Unless you a woman, you don't even know what the fuck you talking about. Mm-hmm.
An expert than you, and I'll tell you why, because I'm a guy and I know
Absolutely
how we
not.
think more than
You're
you
not- he's
guys
not a
will
guy.
ever know. I can't get in a woman's head any more than just like thinking about it, but I'm a guy and I know why these guys do this. The bottom line is this, ladies.
What?
You would not care if all these guys were hot. They would be bolstering your self-esteem, bolstering your ego. There is nothing more that a woman loves to hear than how pretty she is. Now, this particular
Okay,
video.
so I just want to point out this guy is also a moron.
Yeah, he's also an idiot.
We're not throwing in with this fucking loser. This is the stupidest fucking counter argument I've ever heard in my life. This guy is just as dumb as they are, just on another fucking
But you
side
know
of the
what
issue.
he does. You know what, it is kind of valid, and it's so true. Even though a lot of women will admit this. It's like, if a
Yeah,
guy
I mean-
they don't find as attractive talks to them, it's like he's creepy and weird.
Right. That is kind of true.
And if a guy they find attractive, oh yeah, he can talk to me all day
But it's
long.
not just true as like a blanket statement.
Well, blanket statements are probably never true.
Right. And like his thing about like, man, I know how a man thinks, and like, no, you're one guy. You speak for yourself, not all men.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's what he should say.
Right.
Look at both of the women's faces.
Oh, I know. They have the same impression like, this fucking idiot.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Speaks for itself. These guys obviously don't have a lot of class, but I'm also very suspicious because this was put together by an ad agency to go viral. So how do we know some of those guys weren't planted?
Right. Okay. So so now let's get to the
It
authenticity.
doesn't matter because.
Oh, it doesn't matter. What?
Oh,
it
whoa.
doesn't matter.
Hold on.
So if it's fake,
Whoa.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter even if it's fake. I mean, like,
What an idiot.
I don't even think that it is fake, but
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, it does matter. It definitely matters whether or not it's real. How can you say it doesn't matter whether it's real or not?
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
If it's fake, it doesn't matter. It's like, so you're saying if this is not an actual occurrence in someone's life, then that's not relevant? Okay.
It's presented as real, so if it's not real, then that definitely, of course, matters.
Even if they were planted, this is actually very accurate for New
I
York
agree.
City specifically.
I lived in New York City 15 years.
This is incredibly accurate. And I will, and
so
since
what?
you saying that, but what's funny is that you're saying that you know how men think,
I
but
did,
your
yeah.
comment
How
was
can I not?
actually but actually your comment was about saying how women think, that women
Am I
want to
wrong?
hear
Stop me when I'm
compliments from
wrong.
men all day.
Stop me
You
when
are
I'm wrong.
wrong.
So is
Well,
You are wrong. I stopped you before you started.
Okay.
Does this elicit,
All
I
right,
guess,
so
the
hold
comment?
on. If a guy that woman thought was attractive came up to her and complimented her and said, "Hey, how you doing?" or something like that, and she was attracted to him just as much as he was attracted to her, she would not respond positively to that. She would be like,
Yeah,
"Stop harassing
Yeah,
me."
you're harassing me. You're objectifying me. Leave.
In defiance of all human nature. Because if anyone that you think is attractive starts talking to you, no matter who you are, you're going to be pleased with that.
Of course.
But how do you know if someone finds you attractive or not before you even initialize conversation? I agree that, some of the ways that these guys did it were tactless, but that's just on them. That's not indicative of the culture.
You know what this
That's not
reminds me of?
indicative of all fucking
You know what this
men on
reminds
any
me of?
level, or even most.
Remember we were talking about the Anita Sarkeesian thing with Laura Croft?
Yeah.
Where it was like, before, the older games, her boobs are too big. And now, and then they made it, in the new game, her boobs are smaller, and it's like, now they're taking away her femininity. And it's like, there's no way to please these people, is the bottom line. Like, this woman's not going to be happy, because if she's like, yeah, even if that, scenario you set out happened, she would still be displeased, is what she's saying. No amount of, contact with her, I guess, unless you just happen to see her at, some place, and it's like you're introduced to her, is okay to talk to her. And even then, I guess, it might not be appropriate. It's like, what does this woman want these guys to do? Live this some impossible standard? Only approach me when I want to be approached, which is not decipherable to you in any way, because I will not actually talk to you. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Of, how accurate is this depiction of real life? Or is it an issue of, how authentic is this view based on the fact that it was made by a company who wanted to elicit a response, who wanted to go viral? Did they push the envelope? Was it done in the correct manner?
It's just another example of a lot of feminists that have an a la carte attitude towards it, meaning you can do this, I want, this sort of thing, but they take it too
far.
Who the fuck
is this guy? This is like the
random guy off the street.
This
He wrote a book.
This dude is like a hapless dad from a sitcom or something.
I know, right?
Why is this guy the advocate for men in this discussion? This is terrible. This is just terrible.
TJ, it is CNN.
It's just bad. It's just one bad argument versus another bad argument, and the actual substantive debate that should be happening is just not even there. Wow. CNN sucks.
They don't want a real debate. They don't want that. They just want a bunch of talking points.
This thing bordered on the boy who cried wolf. Where's it going to go next? So you're telling me then, if I compliment you on the street, it's some sort of abuse, no matter how I choose to do it? That means if you don't compliment me, no, hold on. If you don't compliment me when I walk by, that's abuse. You didn't bolster my self-esteem. I want to fine you. I want to start a coalition against women who don't compliment men.
This is what the fuck? Can we have an actual discussion between
blind lady
intelligent adults
and the idiots arguing with more idiots?
I mean, this is so frustrating.
This is like mainstream national news, and this is
the level. This is the level of discourse that we can expect in America on our fucking television news. No wonder no one fucking watches CNN.
That's why we DP the fuck out of the news.
Yes, because this is fucking retarded. I'll even go so far as to say that it is fucktarded.
So I think I'm hearing from you, Steve. Women should be okay with this because it is a compliment.
I'm finishing it.
These guys are saying, you know what, I like the way you look. You've done everything right as you've stepped out the house and just leave it at that. And Amanda, you're saying, or tell me what you're saying. Are you saying, this is
What I'm
just
saying is
harassment?
that
It's
you are
annoying.
wrong. What I'm saying is that he's wrong, and that the reality is that a lot of women, when we leave the house, we are not looking for compliments. We are not strolling the streets waiting like, is anyone going to notice these pants today? Like, that's not actually how we are approaching our day.
Well, you'd
we are
rather have women
actually
compliment
just
you,
going
yeah,
where
but-
we're going. And the other thing is,
I
that I think a lot of people who don't live in New York also don't understand this. When you live in New York City, you don't often get the luxury of being in a car. And
That was a point that I thought was kind of funny.
No.
Because in New York, you can't hide in a car. So that's why you would get more cat calls.
Okay.
being in a car gets to isolate you from like being in the world and basically
what's your
like
point?
just at the
What's your
behest of
point?
whoever's talking to you.
What's anyone's point?
What's
You
your
are
point? No one's
always in.
What is
right,
anyone's
I get it. I
point
live
on this
there.
show?
No one's holding a gun to your head telling you you have to live in New York City. First of all,
You know what's funny is that you as a man, what your problem is that you really should just be
You know what my problem is?
embracing and welcoming to the fact that women are saying, hey, we don't like this, not arguing why we shouldn't. If we
listen.
say we don't like it and we are demonstrating that, then you should actually, as a man who is a man of honor
You
and
should
wrote
just
a book about
accept
this,
women's
should be
control
saying,
of your
well,
behavior.
Let's discuss how we can make you all feel more comfortable
No,
and how
that's
I,
not
as a
gonna
man,
happen.
who said,
Hold on. So
she's not providing any evidence saying that she said. She's not even really made a point. She's just saying you need to do this
well,
because
neither,
I said
no,
so.
no one has made a
Well,
point.
no, I'm just saying in
But-
response to that. Well, that guy's a total idiot. He just
Later on,
there's no point even responding.
either one of the women on the panel, I can't remember which one, later on says, we don't feel safe, and he's like, well, start carrying a gun then.
Oh my god.
Okay, so anyway, but just to respond to, I don't even remember anymore. Just move on.
Okay. So-
TJ's got a gun.
Outrage over rape remarks.
The university president apologizing for comments he says were taken out of context. Comments that sounded a lot like accusations to some female students that they lied about rape. So listen for yourself. Lincoln University President Robert Jennings in a speech to female students. This is back in September.
And let me tell you why I know I'm right about it. I'm right about it because we have on this campus last semester, 3 cases of young women who, after having done whatever they did with the young men, and then it didn't turn out the way they wanted it to turn out, guess what they did? They then went to public safety and said, he raped me.
Okay. So what's wrong with that?
President of university seems to be saying that women lie if they don't get what they want.
Some do.
What do you make of that?
He's saying
I want to ask you
he
that,
said
Neve.
Wait. He didn't say it as a blanket statement. He said some women. He cited 3 different women that did that. And he said then we have to do an investigation.
Right. So what's wrong with that? I mean, are you saying that there's never been a woman that lies about rape? Because there are.
I guess that's what his implication was.
They've actually done. There's actually. I don't remember the exact fucking shit, so people can just go look this up on Google. But there was actually a feminist that was trying to, prove rape culture and show that false rape accusations don't happen. And so she actually looked at DNA evidence to see how many what rate of false rape accusations there actually are. And she discovered that there are a huge number of false rape accusations because a lot of women know that you can destroy a man's reputation, you can destroy possibly his entire life by simply saying, he raped me. And are you going to say, that's not to say women are vindictive. That's just to say that human beings are vindictive and that if you give someone that sort of power or advantage over you, there's going to be scumfuck people that use it.
Sure.
And women are no exception. If you suggest otherwise, then you're basically saying that women just have this innate moral superiority to men, which is not fucking true.
Obviously, a lot of feminists believe that, so.
As a man, what do you make of that? Did you find what he said offensive?
I did. I was watching it earlier, actually, online, and at first I was sort of confused, and as I thought about it more, I realized...
How are you confused?
In many ways, how absurd that comment is.
Why?
And I think it falls in line with the theme we've seen more and more.
Wait, hold on. Why is it absurd? Is he going to explain why it's absurd?
I believe so.
He's just a
Okay,
mouthpiece.
let's go.
We'll see.
especially lately, with women feeling as though they're not being taken seriously when they express real concerns about their personal physical safety. And I think it begs a discussion that we are having now and should be continuing to have with college-age students and younger ones, just about what's okay, what's not okay, what we see in entertainment and in pop culture versus what are actual real expectations and realities.
They're trying to imply that guys are like, there's a guy just sitting in his, he's about to go off to college. He's, 18 years old, 19 years old. So I go out to a party with a girl, we're having fun. We get back to her place or my place. And she says, no, I don't want to have sex. So then I can just rape her, right? That's just how it goes. Like, I'm really confused about that point. It's so difficult to understand. Who is saying this? Who's confused about this? Are we realistically saying, and this guy is saying that people really are confused about this or don't take this seriously? You just decided something that just said, you said basically that a large percentage of rape accusations are false.
Yeah.
So how can we possibly say that we do not take this seriously? I mean, if you go to any college campus, there'll be marches against this. If there's a girl was raped or a woman was raped, they'll be marching in protest.
And there doesn't even have to be any sort of proof or evidence that a rape happened. An accusation is enough to elicit protests. I guess we just assume that women just inherently tell the truth about rape. Women just automatically, they're always telling the truth.
Yeah.
There's never been a woman that's lied about being
no
raped.
evidence is required.
If a female makes an accusation that a man raped her, she is automatically telling the truth, no matter what. And if anyone suggests otherwise, then that is problematic and sexist and misogynist
probably
and
a
offensive.
rapist. Only a rapist
they
would want the truth
support
to be.
rape culture.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
There's a very blurred line now between what's acceptable and not, and if it trends online and if people think it's funny in a music video, they're more likely to think, oh, that's okay, I guess that's how women prefer to be.
Are there rapes in music videos? I don't watch a lot of new music videos, but
they're just drowning in rape.
I saw that video and then I realized it was okay.
I saw this music video and this dude raped all these bitches and they,
okay.
It seemed like it was a good thing to do, man. So I just done it,
We've been hearing this argument. Same thing about, remember Grand Theft Auto? Oh, people, you're shooting people on an overpass, so kids are going to do that. Then some kids did it and say, there's the proof. Some dumbasses did it. It's like, well, millions of people bought the game and only these idiots did it. So that's not really proof of anything. That's more like what we call a coincidence or anecdotal evidence.
Be treated, and it's just ridiculous. So I'm glad to be having the conversation.
What message does his speech send to any woman who was raped and might be thinking of coming forward, Gloria?
And that is the point.
Oh, she's the worst too.
You could just tell that looking at her, though.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Key point, Don, that you're making. It sends it makes a chilling effect. It creates a hostile environment on that campus for women who are raped or victims of sexual assault who are thinking of coming forward.
Doesn't it create a hostile environment for men if all rape accusations are just treated as though they're automatically fucking true?
But that's okay.
I guess that's fine, though.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's fine. False accusations don't matter. Telling the truth doesn't matter. Evidence doesn't matter because we need to live in this little fantasy world that these people are outlining.
Now they may fear that, in fact, the president has created an environment where they are not going to be believed, where it is going to be futile for them to come forward, and in fact, they may
Wait a minute. He said that we have to do an investigation.
You know what? If it does occur and there's evidence that it happened, then I'm all for the investigation. There should be an investigation regardless, even if there's an accusation, just simply to say there's no basis of this.
Right. But that's what the president of the university said. He said we have to, when these accusations are made, we have to do an investigation. He didn't say, when these accusations are made, we just dismiss that shit because it's ridiculous.
He said, I think what he's saying is a frustration over wasting resources on bullshit allegations.
with resistance and treated as liars. So what is the point? I think that the Office of Civil Rights, the United States Department of Education, would be very upset to hear the president's statements. And in fact, any victim could use that in a potential lawsuit against the college for a violation of Title IX.
Let me tell you, the president did. He apologized, and let me read his statement for you. He said, "My message was intended to emphasize personal responsibility and mutual respect. I apologize for my choice of words. I certainly did not intend to hurt or offend anyone."
Ah, scumbag. Total scum. What a piece of shit.
Do you think he should have apologized?
No.
He probably would have gotten fired. If
Yeah, he probably had to for the sake of his career, but no, I don't think he should have apologized. I think he should have said, go fuck yourself. Non-consensually. Oh.
Some woman went to a dollar store in Ohio, and I believe it was in like the Dayton area.
Oh,
and
close to here.
Yeah, and bought a toy for her toddler, and is pissed off about what was inside the toy.
Oh, okay.
So.
A disturbing image
giant
hidden
dick or
inside
something?
a toy purchased at a local dollar store.
News Center 7's Lauren Clark with why a Kettering mother wants it off the shelves.
A mother bought her toddler this princess wand at the dollar store behind me. Imagine her surprise when the curious little girl peeled back the foil to find this image of a girl cutting herself inside.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why the mom wouldn't want the kid looking at that. Yeah.
What? How'd that even get there?
Someone probably at a factory in China or some fucking place they make that.
That's
put it in there.
That's how it's supposed to look.
That's how it's supposed to look?
Yeah, the name of the product, I believe, is Evil Wand.
Oh, so it's like probably like a Halloween thing or something.
Yeah, it must be something like that, yeah.
The packaging promises fairies and, quote, wonderful music, but I doubt many people would call this music. It's difficult to see the image clearly in the dark, but if you pull back the foil, there's no mistaking it.
If you look close enough, it's not a drawing. It's an actual picture of the girl slitting her wrist. I'm outraged over it. I want to know how they think that is suitable for a child.
Nicole Allen said she found the wand for her 2-year-old
I don't
daughter
even
in the
understand
toy
why-
section of
like,
the...
What? Why is this?
Why is this a news story?
I don't understand, but I don't.
I mean, yeah, like, I agree it's probably not the best toy for children, but it's not really, like, newsworthy.
Why is it even marketed that way? Why is it even on store shelves for children? I don't even get how this even happened. But I don't know. Whatever. Stranger things have happened.
$1 store on Linden Avenue last weekend.
There was Barbie dolls on one side and baby dolls on the other side. And these were right in the middle of where they were at.
The owner of the store told me parents need to pay more attention to what they're buying for their children.
The name on it, it says Evil Stick. So from the name, I would, if I'm buying it for my kid, and I have a lot of kids, and I have young ones, I would inspect it before I even give it to them.
He also said that while he would not buy the toy for a toddler, he thinks it's okay for older kids.
For a 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, I mean, they see that on TV every day.
But Nicole and other shoppers at the store...
I mean, it's kind of a silly looking image. It's not like...
Yeah.
This is not like some graphic Saw shit or something. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of weirdly packaged, like it should be a little bit more honest about what it contains. But I mean, it is called the Evil Stick.
Yeah.
I mean, could that woman read? Maybe not. I don't know.
Probably not.
Disagree.
You don't want to think about little girls picking that up and thinking this is normal, or funny or interesting or any of those things.
Why not?
The owner of the store tells
Hold
me
on,
he
why
won't...
not? What's wrong with people thinking it's interesting? It is interesting. It's a fucking demonic chick cutting her arm. That's pretty interesting. It's fascinating. That's why it's a news story, for fuck's sake. Of course it's interesting.
Not be taking the item off of his shelf unless he receives a complaint directly from a customer. In Dayton, Lauren Clark, News Center 7.
So wait, did he not receive a complaint directly from those people?
So they just called. They made sure to call the media, but not him.
Okay,
that's pretty funny.
That's interesting.
He's like, well, it's on the shelf. I mean, yeah.
All right then.
Here's a secret recording of Ronald Reagan that was recently released that people are kind of scratching their heads about.
Well, he was pretty
Mr. President,
senile.
let me take this opportunity to extend my congratulations on your re-election to a new term as President of Syria.
So he was congratulating Assad for being reelected in 1985.
Elected.
This is the, the great communicator, Republican Jesus, basically.
Yeah.
That's Ronald Reagan congratulating Hafez al-Assad on his so-called re-election in 1985. And with us now to talk about the newly released Reagan audio tapes, historian Julian Zelizer of Princeton University. First, the obvious here, Julian. Did this surprise you to learn that Ronald Reagan was recording some of these phone calls in secret? And I do want to be clear that these were recordings done through the Situation Room switchboard, and we're told that it's to maintain some sort of accuracy or record. But were you surprised by that?
It is a surprise. We have recordings of John F. Kennedy, of Lyndon Johnson, and of Richard Nixon, but we thought after Richard Nixon we wouldn't have more recordings, famously ending during the Watergate hearings. So this was fresh material, and it was something I was not familiar, and to hear inside the White House is something we don't have post-Richard Nixon until now.
I want to listen to Ronald Reagan and British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. This is October of 1983. This is hours after Reagan, without telling his ally, Margaret Thatcher, that he had ordered troops into Grenada to quash a Marxist coup. Let's listen.
Okay, then.
We think we want to put them kind of out ahead in helping in the restoration of a government. So they're
just thinking of these two talking. It's fucked up. Yeah.
This is what happens when bad meets evil.
Right.
Big old Uncle Sam trying to impose a government on them.
Well, there's a lot of work to do yet, Ron, still, isn't there?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And,
I know it's very tricky.
We think that the military part of it is going to end very shortly.
Reagan and Thatcher sitting in a tree.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah, you can tell. It's very tricky, Ron. It's very tricky.
Yeah. Couldn't the president afford a better sounding phone?
Well, it was 1983.
Yeah, not the best quality.
Say, I'm sorry for any embarrassment we caused you, but please understand it was just our fear of our own weakness over here with regard to secrecy.
It's very kind of you to have rung, Ron.
Well, my pleasure.
Appreciate it. How is Nancy?
Just fine.
Just fine. Don't talk about her. Let's talk about us, baby.
Oh,
Just fine.
Oh, she's fine. How about you?
You don't need to ask about Nancy, bitch.
Fine. Give her my love.
I shall. All right.
Thank you very much. I must return to this debate in the House. It's a bit tricky.
Oh. All
Everything
right.
is tricky for her.
Go get him. Eat him alive.
Goodbye.
All right, bye.
Thatcher was a cannibal.
Eat him alive.
Eat him alive. Justice.
Reagan was Batman.
Reagan was Batman. It's proven.
Go get him.
Eat him alive.
My parents are dead.
His parents probably were dead.
Tell me where the other drugs were going.
Swear to me.
So, Julian, pleasantries there at the end of the conversation, but Ronald Reagan really is apologizing to Margaret Thatcher. Why is he, I guess, expressing so
Ronald
much humility
Reagan
over
says
what happened?
America is weak.
I heard it.
Oh, he did say that.
Ronald Reagan, the Republican Jesus, says America's a shithole and should be spit on.
It's a
and
really
despised.
interesting tape. Thatcher is one of his closest allies and a partner in the conservative revolution of the 1980s. She's upset that she didn't know about the invasion of Grenada that happens, and he's trying to say this wasn't about keeping her out of the loop. It's about the problems he's having here in the U.S., and this sounds familiar, with controlling leaks and controlling secrecy. So he needs her as an ally during this period. It's a critical moment in the Cold War and in policy towards Central America, and he's trying to win her support back, which he will.
Yeah, in the beginning, she's
when I first heard we were going to play Reagan tapes, I was hoping he'd do something really evil, though, you know?
Right.
I was hoping I'd hear him be like,
time to do cocaine, you know. Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to hear him say during get a recording of him during the AIDS crisis in the 80s where he's just fuck them faggots or something like that. You know, that'd be great. That'd be a better tape than just this boring ass shit.
of curt with him because she's ticked off. You can tell, but she kind of warms to him throughout.
I couldn't tell.
It's tricky. It's
Yeah,
tricky.
Was that just like?
Oh, Ron, it's tricky.
Was that just like English politeness right there?
I guess.
That's like.
That's what it sounded like to me.
That's like the rage. Tricky is her code word for I'm pissed and I'm going to have your nuts in a jar.
About the call, it is really fascinating. He also negotiates for hostages in these recordings. This is Ronald Reagan in June of 1985. He's urging Pakistan's leaders to use the leader of Pakistan to use his contacts with Middle East terrorists to persuade them to free the Palestinians.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
He always started sentences with
well.
Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Passengers on a hijacked TWA airliner. Let's listen.
Well, we must do that in a way that
Whoa.
does not think.
Hold
make
on.
the-
That dude, Zia?
Yeah.
I never heard of him, but goddamn, that's a cool mustache. But he looks like a darker version of Gomez Adams.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, me too. I see it. That's why I said it.
Hijackers think that they have
There's some
won
Archie
their
Bunker-looking
goal,
motherfucker in the
because
background
I think
there.
we just see more hijackings then and more terrorism. But we believe that if they will return ours, and then I think the Israelis are prepared to also deliver theirs, but not make it a kind of ransom at the moment.
Okay, so if he's negotiating, why does it kind of sound like he's not really negotiating for the release of the hostages?
Negotiating with terrorists.
That's one of his negotiation tactics. What you want most, you ask for least. The wisdom of Reagan.
Yeah, the knowledge of Reagan.
Next.
All right.
I'm bored. This bores me, Ben. A monkey.
Veterinarian Stacy Addison has a passion for
We
travel
evolved from
and
those.
wildlife. From Machu Picchu to Costa
Monkeys.
Rica to the Galapagos Islands and Antarctica, volunteering to treat animals along the way. Winding up in prison was not on her itinerary.
I'm a suspect in a crime I didn't commit, and it's just a very surreal experience.
The Oregon vet quit her job, even sold her house to travel the world, her mom tells me, setting out last year.
She was just having a wonderful time. It was her dream.
But in Timor-Leste in Southeast Asia, that dream takes a nightmarish turn.
Well, someone's
During a
got to be in future episodes of Locked Up Abroad.
Yeah, there has to be someone.
September trip to the Indonesian border to renew a visa. Addison shares a taxi with a male stranger back to Dili, the capital of Timor-Leste. Along the way, Addison says, the stranger stops to pick up a package at DHL. When he gets back in the taxi, police surround them. The package, authorities say, contains drugs.
She was terrified. You know, she didn't know absolutely what was going on.
Addison is jailed, held alone for 4 days. In court, the drug suspect seems to clear her.
And he testified before the judge that he didn't know my daughter.
Addison is freed by a judge, but her passport confiscated. She's able to Skype.
Initially, I wasn't...
So, I don't know.
I mean, this is your typical, third world shithole.
Right.
They won't release her. They pretty much probably just want money.
This is why I don't even travel outside America.
America.
Here in America.
Ain't got American
Ain't
flag.
no one ever been falsely imprisoned here in this country.
Except for them Japanese people that one time, but that was a big mistake.
That was a long time ago. That don't matter.
Must be. I think that was before America was actually a country, even.
Yeah,
that was that worried. I knew I didn't have drugs. They searched me. The police searched me. They tested my urine.
They stuck their fingers in
Everything
me.
was negative. So I thought, okay, I haven't done anything. It should be okay, but
I'm
not.
October 29th, she goes
Instead,
back
I'm
to
fucked.
court. They arrest her on the spot. She's draped by police in a pink sarong and
Why?
pushed into a car. They are sending me to prison. She manages to send a text to a friend.
Okay.
She's being held in this women's prison. Her hair's been cut, a rule for prisoners. Yet, Addison is not charged with a crime, being told the investigation could take a year. This week, she turned 41.
That's always fun.
Never in a million.
Yeah, we'll just hold you in jail for a year while we figure out if you actually did anything or not.
That's how these countries operate.
Years would I have thought she'd be spending her birthday today
Well,
in a prison.
Total bullshit.
So, I mean, what else can we really say?
Addison
other
is
than
allowed a
this is just
lawyer
fucked up?
and U.S. consulate visit.
I mean, yeah, it's a fucked up situation.
You know, that's kind of the risk you take when you go to these places. I mean, you go to these countries, their legal system is not the same as you're going to find in a lot of developed, like, Western countries. It's like, you've been accused.
That's why I never leave my house except for to come here to do the show.
And then you're probably frightened the entire time. You're like, oh, shit. I may be fucking, I may be mugged, I may be arrested, I may be accused of something. I think we should send you to Guantanamo Bay, personally.
Guantanamo Bay.
Club Gitmo.
Well, it's 8:30. You want to take a little break and then go to questions?
Sure.
What?
Sweet. Fuck all y'all motherfuckers.
We'll be
Fuck
right
all
back.
you players! Judy sucks.
Player haters.
I've been pissing in a bathtub, falling in and out of them a couple times. No reason to my rhyme every time my heart goes. Having no one to come home to is a drag. Let's throw it on another bag. Shoot me if you understand my plight. I've been drinking, yeah, malt liquor, getting sicker than a dog for a couple of years. I've had a few more beers, I'm wasted, so go figure. Nothing to do tomorrow, so I say let's go some more blow. Nothing brings much pleasure anymore. Pick it up, 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 pick it up! Shoot me if you understand my plight. City makes me wanna fight.
Downtown, hobo on the ground, says he got a probe. No, I got my chode, but no, that's sick. If I want a dick, I can get a dick. And I like the metal stick with the little drip drip. Without the knob on the top and all the stickiness. And I know the satisfaction of a man, don't get me wrong. Wires the eyes and baby doesn't turn me on. Like when a man tries to beat me, take off my hobo clothes and then he tries to feed me. Cracking them out, put in the mouth, sucks us out, make scream out. Then I'll be the hobo unit friends. Talk about standing in the street, getting bent over a vent. Looking forward to the probing experience. Get the move, dude, use it for the back in action. Stick it in and watch the hobo's ass contraction. Hobo, 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 hobo. Anal, 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 anal. Robin, 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 Robin. Hobo, anal, Robin. Chillin' at home, watching the tube, sorting a boner for the killing of the hobos in the city of the bone. rubbing like the dirty dozen. Says the ladies in the dress, baby's mama's daddy's cousin. Make me feel like a hobo, tie me down for anal probing. Crossing over with blood running out my ass. Think it's funny. Take a look at fucking bust you in the nuts. Like you're my lover. Fucking dirty hobo dick. It's saucy like the sucker drip. Think twice about your trip. The hobo probing confidence. Building up the mean or something. Lonely white just chucking fucking hobo, 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 anal, 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 probing, 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 hobo, anal, probing. Fuck that, I ain't no tool, bitch. I'm a hobo with two motherfucking fists. And feel that rim shot, big cock in your mouth, fuck, thinking master the anal profile. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Greasy, 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 grease it up. Stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it in. Slide it up and down, slide it up and down. Slide it all around. Hobo, 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 hobo. Anal, 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 anal. Rubbing, 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 rubbing. Hobo, anal, rubbing. Tell me how to eat it right, how to save the flavor. All night with my peaches and cream on my body, I dream of you, girl. Tell me how to treat it right. I lick your pussy all night, and I am foolish in dreams with my face in your cream, with details to come. And I believe with your pussy, and I will eat your pussy clean. Tell me that you'll be my girl. Tell me that you'll be my world. Tell me that you'll be that slut in my dreams that I want you to be. Tell me that you'll suck my dick. Tell me that you'll lick, lick, lick. Tell me that you'll rock my cock like a whore and never stop. Never stop. Never stop. Tell me how to stick it right, how to poke you in the pokey and feel tight, with my dick clean from your mouth servicing. Let's go, girl. And I believe when your pussy, and I will scream when your pussy. Tell me that you'll be my girl. Tell me that you'll be my world. Tell me that you'll be that slut in my dreams that I want you to be. Tell me that you'll suck my dick. Tell me that you'll lick, lick, lick. Tell me that you'll rock my cock like a whore and never stop. Never stop. Never stop. You know I'll wait for you to break your dawn. You know I'll wait by your window till the moon is undone. You know I'll wait by your back door down the scream and kick 'em outside and see me while kids are making playing in the sun. Well, I got my rights
I pay my bills, I got my know-how. When I never like to get my hands dirty, I got it all figured out. When I never play out the game with a chick, got to a change that bring me neither rich fucking no fame. Because I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Thinking I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Going to parties all night, the gates of our room fight. Saying I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Saying I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. She said, let me tie you to the bed. And I agreed happily, I was getting a piece. And when she was done, she pulled out her penis. When I started to scream, but she seen on me. She shit on my chest and rubbed my dick with it. She said, bitch, you better watch his eyes, suck your cock clean. And with utter disgust, I was hard as fuck as she gobbled my novel with the shit still clinging to her chin. As she started to begin, eat my shit off my dick. And she started to moan like she was getting boned. She was a man, just a shitty man. Could help me set some of my demons free until she made my ass bleed all night long. So I pissed on her face just to mark my place, and she giggled and laughed like she was all horny.
The Drunken Peasants are back.
Yes.
Actually, the Drunken Peasants are black.
We are?
Yeah. We're the whitest black guys you'll ever meet.
Is your mic off, Scotty? Okay.
Scotty's mic is stupid.
I am stupid. I thought Ben was Blasian, TJ.
No, he's
You
black.
Oh, he's just black.
100%
See?
black.
Black.
Look at that.
Ebony and
He's
ivory.
he's the whitest black you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Good thing the KKK is not here.
So, did you want to do a couple more news stories before we go into the...
Yeah, we could do maybe a couple more.
All right.
What
so,
is this?
There were some blasphemy killings in Pakistan. Actually, Galen sent this story to me.
Fucking Galen.
Galen's always talking his shit.
Galen is garbage. Fuck Galen. Fuck him in his ass until he dies.
Angry and in anguish, Christians in Pakistan take to the streets in Lahore to protest at the killing of a Christian couple, Shama and Shehzad Masih, who had been wrongly accused of burning the Quran. The basis of the allegations are unclear. Nevertheless, in a country where even unproven accusations of blasphemy can spark anger, a mob had tortured them, killed them, and then burned their bodies in a brick kiln.
Okay.
Such an enlightened place, Pakistan.
Right.
That's wonderful.
Any place with blasphemy laws automatically sucks. You should never go there. I mean, just...
I wouldn't. Personally.
Yeah, you would be killed.
Me
for
personally,
sure.
I would not go to any
I guarantee
country with
you in Pakistan,
anti-blasphemy laws.
Yeah, you would be killed.
It's just interesting. I mean, obviously, nothing is absolute, but I'm just surprised Christians live in Pakistan.
I think the way it works is if your family has always been Christian, you could be a Christian.
Not these people, apparently. Why do we want to kill them? Oh, they burnt the Quran. Okay, sure, kill them.
Someone said they burnt the Quran.
It's just mob justice. You know, someone said it, they're Christians, that's good enough for the mob.
Right.
That's it. They don't give a shit about a trial or evidence. They just want them dead. It's an us versus them thing.
Let's burn them.
Our Christian brothers are being targeted in the name of religion without any crime, and killings on allegations of blasphemy have become routine. We pray for Pakistan in our churches, but we are being persecuted.
Well, you should just accept Islam then. Need to get with the one true faith. Islam.
Christians are the second largest minority in the country, but their number doesn't make them any safer in the Muslim-dominated Pakistan.
Although the Christian community and human rights organizations have come out against the killing of the Christian couple, there is no general anger visible on the streets of Lahore. This is not the first incidence of religious intolerance.
Oh,
wow!
Is that news? Really?
Wow, huh?
You mean the people of Pakistan are not upset that some Christians got killed? Wow, I'm shocked that they're not.
You know,
you would think that they would be.
It's really funny how you have a lot of these Islamist apologists basically say, like, if it happens, you know, bad to people, you know, have Islamic beliefs in America or the West, like, this is an outrage, how can they do this? But then their own countries that Muslims dominate, oh, it's fine. They should be killed. I bet you if you ask these people on the street, oh, these Christians were accused of destroying a Quran and were killed by a mob, they'd be like, you know, praise Allah. I'm sure most of them would be like, that's good. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who would say it's wrong and bad, but obviously it's not even garnering enough attention to even be a news story. And of course, an international organization is going to condemn it because they're a human rights organization.
Yeah, like a human rights organization condemned 2 people being burned to death. It's like, well, no shit. They wouldn't be much of a human rights organization if they didn't.
That's cool. They had it coming. You know, come on.
There have been cases where minorities have been often accused of blasphemy in Pakistan, resulting in deaths.
Recently, a court in Lahore upheld a death sentence against another Christian woman, Asia Bibi. The mother of 4 is the first woman to be sentenced to death under Pakistan's controversial blasphemy law. Asia still has the right to appeal in the Supreme Court, but 2 prominent politicians, including the former governor of Punjab, Salman Taseer, were killed when they tried to help her.
Wow.
So,
What a wonderful country where people actually try to stand up for human rights
But
and they
no,
just get killed.
Ben Affleck said that we should not judge these countries.
You know,
like
Ben
that.
Affleck is a fucking moron.
No.
he's Batman.
He's I'm Batman.
I mean, when that did you guys? Oh, we can't really review it, but you know, did we review that on the show?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
And it
Yeah,
got us
that's right.
flagged.
Yeah, I remember now.
Fuck you, Bill Maher.
You know, and it's like, it's just ridiculous. And he says, "Oh, well, you can't judge their culture. You can't say that, and you're racist to say that." It's like, okay, well, just look what's going on over there.
No, he doesn't want to do that.
Even when other people in positions of power, authority try to intervene, they're just killed too. It's like, oh, you're siding with infidels, die.
It's like, I'm just going to try to help this woman because, you know, obviously she doesn't deserve to die. It's like, well, you deserve to die then.
Yeah.
So even if someone tries to do, like, you know, the right thing, tries to be a good person, tries to stop an unjust execution from happening, they're just executed by a mob of fucking psychopaths in the name of Islam.
Yeah, who don't care about evidence, who don't care about, you know, any sort of legal process, just like, you've been accused, that's enough.
It's kind of like how our universities view the rape thing now, as we discussed earlier. Although obviously we're not burning people. What's happening?
Police have now arrested 43 suspects in connection with the killing of Shama and Shehzad Masih. But many Christians are not happy. These protesters believe
43
no one
people.
has ever been brought to justice for any crimes committed against Christians in Pakistan. Shumaila Jafri, BBC News, Lahore.
Man, you know, that's one cool thing about these countries is you can get, like, hundreds of people together to go burn somebody, you know? Like, in America, you really couldn't do that. You know, someone would say, like, nah, let's not do that.
Let's just beat them to death or something, you know? Let's just kill them.
But in no, I mean, like, you know, like, in America, like, you could see, like, 3 dudes going and doing some shit like this, but you're not going to have, like, a mob of, like, 100 people go burn people or some shit.
No.
You know? Even, like, I guess the closest thing I can think of in America is, like, the fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movies where all the parents got together and burned Freddy Krueger to death.
In a lot of these countries,
But that was fiction, so.
You say, well, what did the police do? The police usually are like, yeah, they deserve it. They destroyed the Quran.
There's no evidence they did it, but...
You know, but
the fact that people thought they did is enough.
Yeah,
right.
But these police know either they agree with the mob or they're like, even if I don't agree with the mob, do I want to be the target of the mob?
No.
There you go.
Mob rule.
That's what I'm saying. It is.
Next story is about a group of parents who want to buy a local strip club.
There you go.
It's for sale. The Sugar Shack's for sale.
Mabi Munoz couldn't contain her excitement now or in July when she found out the building that housed the old strip club was on the market.
From that moment on, it's just been, you know, let's go, let's get it. How are we going to get it?
She heads up a local nonprofit and partnered with 3 more to make an offer on the complex.
It's not a matter of if, it's when we get it. And we need to get it.
The seller
Why?
accepted the group's offer and they have 90 days to line.
Why do you think she wants it?
Does she want it so she can close it down? Or is there some other reason?
No, she wants it so she can close it down.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That's what I was thinking.
Up financing for the nearly $3 million purchase. They've already invested $55,000 of their own money and turned to area investors and the crowdfunding site Indiegogo to raise even more.
When we get the Sugar Shack and we build something, I know it will definitely be something that will benefit the children and families that are in this neighborhood.
Longtime resident Lupe would like to see a fitness center in the future plan and tells me now the block-sized building is an eyesore.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it's their right if they
you
want to
know,
buy
I
the
mean,
building.
if they got the money to buy it and that's what they want to do, I mean, what the fuck's wrong with that? I mean, I would prefer a strip club probably, but
No. You'd prefer a fitness center, right?
yeah, sure.
I mean, they do dance on poles, and that's good exercise.
Yeah, there you go. I actually don't like strip clubs either, but you know,
No.
I would aesthetically, like, I don't give a fuck if it's a strip club or if it's a fitness center or whatever, but you know, I can kind of see how, you know,
it's definitely an extreme measure to get rid of a strip club.
But I mean, obviously the strip club is, you know, not doing well financially anyway if it's selling its business, so.
Well, my impression is it rents a space and it's a whole building, you know what I mean?
Right.
In the summer. Especially when the kids are out playing, they're playing here in front, and they're seeing the comings and goings of what's going on in the strip club, and it's not good for them to see that.
Why not?
Yeah, that's my major problem.
They can't see inside anyways.
Right, but even if they can, what's the problem? Like, there's naked people in there. It's like, so what? I don't understand. I never understand the extreme prudishness of people when it comes to naked bodies and shit. You know, and the weird thing is, you know, if you take your kid to the art museum and there's a bunch of like nude paintings and stuff, well, that's okay. That's art. But if they you obviously don't take your kid to the strip club, but if they happen to see something like through a window or some shit, it's like, oh no, the children's minds will be poisoned. Like, what's going to happen to the fucking kids? You know, if a kid sees a pair of tits, what happens to the fucking kid?
I was going to point out to you that
is the kid's mind going to explode?
There was a place, there's a place, and still open here. Like, we used to drive by all the time. There was a strip club in just the middle of a bunch of fucking buildings, you know, like other businesses. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I'm sure there's plenty of children that go by it each day. What's that? You know, that's a strip club. You know, what is that? It's where fucking men go and fucking waste money on these women that aren't going to sleep with them. There you go.
The group has raised $4,500 so far and encourages you to help prevent another strip club from running out of here. We found out this one is renting and would be booted if everything goes to
okay.
Mavi Munoz's new plan.
So okay, never mind. Fuck these people.
Right.
I thought the strip club itself was being sold, but I guess it's just the building.
No, they're buying the building.
They're buying the building and then they're going to evict the strip club.
Hey man, like I said, if they want to spend $3 million to evict these people, then why not?
Well,
I mean,
sure
that's their right.
That building does not look as though it's worth $3 million, but
commercial real estate can kind of be it can.
But look at the area.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You never mind.
They're not going to. So they're not. I mean, well, you know, we should raise money and put an even raunchier strip club in there. We should raise a bunch of money, buy that building, and fucking just fill it with strip clubs. It could be the strip club strip.
So basically, just make a little mini New Orleans.
Yeah.
A little like Bourbon Street experience.
And I think it should be like really deviant strip clubs too, where like, you know, it's not even just normal strippers, but there's like weird shit going on. Like fucking latex and fucking giant dildos and fucking donkeys and all kinds of crazy shit.
That's illegal for sure.
Shut up.
TJ wants the Tijuana Donkey Show and all that.
Well, we could just build an animatronic donkey. That's not a fucking illegal.
No. That wouldn't be.
All right.
Clever marketing.
With a giant cock.
Do you want to go into questions now?
Sure.
All right.
Faux show, Ben.
Faux show.
Faux show, Ben. Ben. Oh, Ben.
Hey,
I don't
Drunken
like
Peasants, got a few things for you. First of all, I saw you kind of review a Dose of Buckley's video, and I get your point, and I see what you're trying to say, but I do think that, that video was definitely kind of unfair on his part, but a lot of his videos are not like that, and I think that you...
That's wonderful. Hey, guys, I got a call. I got to return real quick, so I'm going to leave you alone for 1 second.
Okay.
That's... whatever. Oh. Yeah, in fact, you know, that's fine. You know, shit, that's all you had to say.
So, Dose of Buckley's video.
TJ's the main one that took issue with it. I mean, obviously I don't agree with the Dose of Buckley, but I'm not... I mean, he was the one that was like, yeah, it's me or him kind of thing, which I think... I kind of think, you know, that TJ kind of... You know, in a way, like, people kind of, like, overreact, and TJ kind of overreacted because they kind of saw it as, like, he was being genuine. I think TJ was more just trying to play it up.
Right. TJ was joking, but he probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
The whole, you know, unsubscribe from me if you're subscribed to him. Obviously, we don't really want to say something like that.
Yeah, because, I mean, people should, you know, I don't want to tell anyone else what to do. If they want to watch a Dose of Buckley and us, I have no problem with that. They should be able to. I mean... But I think he just got kind of carried away, and I think TJ even said he wants to try to debate him at some point.
Right. By the way, Dose of Buckley declined that because he thinks we're going to treat him unfairly.
Oh, but you know,
Um,
if he's given reassurances, maybe he'll change his mind. You know?
Right.
But if he doesn't, that's fine. That's his right. You know, she doesn't have to debate us if he doesn't want to.
See, the main thing that I heard from people who disagreed what we said about the Dose of Buckley video was that we just didn't understand what he was saying.
I understand what he said. I just don't agree with him.
Right. People were saying that we just didn't get it. And the thing is I don't necessarily believe that that's true. And if that is true, then why is he so hard to understand is a better question. He said that people who celebrate, you know, using a substance that they enjoy are pieces of shit.
Yeah, and
did
pathetic
he not
losers.
say that?
Yeah, he did. He said they're pathetic losers, basically.
So he said pieces of shit too. He literally said pieces of shit. And he said that people that drink alone are pathetic. You know, I would rather drink alone at home than go out, drink around a bunch of people I don't know,
and spend a lot more money.
Spend more money and then have to worry about getting home because, you know, in a city that we live in, there's shitty public transportation. Yeah. So my choice is either paying for a taxi or driving home drunk, which I don't want to do either. So, you know, what's wrong with me drinking at home alone and passing out in my own bed? You know, and
that's too responsible, I suppose.
It's pathetic in his eyes.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of saying. We're saying what is, I mean, and he kind of compared alcohol and weed. I thought that was kind of an unfair comparison and not even a valid comparison because how many people die from smoking weed every year compared to how many people die of drunk driving, alcohol-related disease, liver cirrhosis, whatever. And, I mean, I've seen plenty of people function on smoking weed, and I know many people who have lead normal lives, you know, working in a variety of industries, you know, construction, engineering, whatever, and they can just go to their job, they still smoke weed, and they're fine.
Someone in the chat room was like, "Oh, well, he said getting drunk alone is pathetic." There's nothing wrong with getting drunk alone. There's nothing wrong with getting drunk. I mean, it was a ridiculous argument.
Yeah, but you know that's not correct because he drew a direct comparison between the two things. I mean, I understand your point, but I mean, he said that's the same thing. He said like, why would you not say they're addicted? And I mean, and I'm not arguing that someone may or may not be addicted to weed, but even if they are, the withdrawal symptoms from stopping and smoking weed are nothing. It's like, you know, oh, I kind of want to smoke a joint. Oh, I kind of want to get high. It's not like, oh, my life is over with, you know. Or I mean, people who stop drinking alcohol can literally die. If they're an alcoholic and they drink a lot, they can die.
Right. They can have physical withdrawals.
Yeah, and die.
They can have seizures.
That's what I'm saying. It's in my mind, it's not a valid comparison.
There's so many Buckley fanboys freaking out. Probably trolls, too.
Oh,
acting
of course.
like it.
I mean, that's fine. They're entitled to their opinion, and we're entitled to ours. I mean, I don't see how they can disprove what I'm saying, though. I mean, they can say all day long we're stupid.
Well, they were saying that we were straw-manning him, which I don't feel like we did. We took his actual video, played it clip by clip, and responded to each point that he made.
Where's the straw man? I'm not understanding that. I mean, obviously we just do not agree. So I just leave it at that. Like, we don't agree. That's fine.
TJ's back now. We'll give him a moment to respond.
Oh,
I'll start it over again so you can hear it.
We threw it away.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, got a few things for you. First of all, I saw you kind of review a Dose of Buckley's video, and I get your point, and I see what you're trying to say, but I do think that, that video was definitely kind of unfair on his part, but a lot of his videos are not like that, and I think that you should do one more video. I will unsubscribe to either you or Dose of Buckley, but you have to review one more of his videos, because someone sent you that video specifically because it was a bit more controversial or not as aligned with your perspectives. But if you look at a lot of his stuff, it's actually very similar to yours.
Okay.
For instance, he's not.
For instance, what?
Not religious, and he's made a video or two against or making fun of Easter or religion or whatever.
Okay.
And when you were saying that you couldn't find humor in it, like when he put on there, oh, you should pray or whatever, like he was making fun of that, and that was kind of part of it.
Okay.
And there was a few other things that I think you might have missed, but
Well, obviously we were not aware of all his.
All right.
videos.
Well, you know, I mean, like the way the show works is Ben picks clips, usually stuff that people have sent him, or stuff that he went out and searched and found, and I just react off the cuff to whatever's happening. So, when I saw that video, I mean, like, look, If you are, I don't care if you don't smoke pot. I don't care if you don't like pot. I don't care if you fucking think that weed is bullshit.
Sure.
That's fine, because I was actually like that for a while.
Yeah.
Number of years. It wasn't until my late, the later part of my mid-20s that I started smoking weed. And before that, I was kind of one of these guys like Buckley who's like, man, weed, blah, 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 doesn't do nothing for you, shit like that. But when you start calling people who smoke recreationally or who celebrate the fact that they smoke marijuana, when you start saying, you're a piece of shit, and you should be looked down upon, and you're an addict, and da-da-da-da-da, to me, that's ludicrous and should not be respected, and I feel like the response we did was appropriate. A lot of people disagree, and that's their right, but fuck them, they're wrong too.
A very TJ-esque answer.
Just give him one more try. I promise you, he is funny, and he is, not.
Let me just put it out there. I don't really watch YouTube videos. I make them. I don't watch them. YouTube is for appearing on, not watching.
That's the funny thing about TJ. Like, I all the time, like, hey, you see this fucking video? It's crazy. And he'd be like, bro, what? I don't watch YouTube videos. I'm like, watch this fucking video, you fucking retard.
I've probably watched more YouTube videos here on the Drunken Peasants than I have on my own recreationally.
I watch YouTube videos.
Scotty does.
Ben, do you?
Yeah, I do.
We do.
I'm too egotistical. I watch my own, and that's good enough for me.
You made it. You don't need to watch it.
I don't know. I find that I always agree with myself about 80% of the time.
Okay, whatever.
Well, I'm serious. I don't always agree with everything I end up saying in videos.
Well, maybe years later, but I mean...
No, even if I watch a video I just made, I'll be like, I actually don't agree with that point.
Man, who else but fucking TJ?
I don't know.
Man, who else but TJ says some shit like that?
Who else but TJ?
That's how I feel. I guess next question.
Yeah, we'll go on to the next one.
Greetings.
Hey, Ben, it's
Drunken
you.
Peasants. This is Casey Jones.
How are you?
From the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I know,
This
bitch.
is a question mostly for Ben.
Okay.
Ben, I was going to ask, I'm not trying to troll you with this question, seriously. Do you have
Fucking
a
troll.
favorite John Cena match? I know you say he's the worst
No.
wrestler of all time, but really, I think the worst thing about Cena is just his stale-ass character, and that he's always in the main event picture. But he's actually put on some quality matches the past decade.
TJ.
He had a series.
Ben. TJ, tell Ben your Cena theory.
Oh.
That's actually interesting.
And this is genuine? This is not like...
This is a real... We're not fucking around.
No,
Okay.
I was watching it last night, and I was thinking about... I saw a sign for that guy you listened to.
Oh, yeah, I saw those two. There were two of them, actually.
Yeah. And I was sitting there, and I was starting to think about him in my head saying, like, turn the bum heel! Turn the bum heel! And I'm like, wait a minute. Cena is a heel.
He is, yes.
Cena is already a fucking heel. What do you mean turn him heel? He's already fucking... It's the crowd that dictates that.
Not in the storyline.
But even within the context of the storyline, he's supposed to be so fucking, like, goody-goody that he gets on your fucking nerves. And that's why he even comes out and says stuff like, people say, when are they going to turn me heel and shit. He even fucking comes out and fucking outright says that shit. I think that the WWE is fucking trolling motherfuckers like you because they'll know that you'll tune in just to hate on Cena. Like, I hate that fucker. And that's why I think that's why they made the Lesnar match the way they did, because they're just like, you know what? Let's finally give him a little bit of what they want and just have him get his ass kicked. But then down the line, we'll fucking just have him win again so the little kids can keep cheering for him.
And buying overpriced merchandise.
But no, I mean, I think Cena's had some good matches, but they're not because of him. It's usually because he's wrestling with people who actually are competent. Like, I actually thought the Randy Orton match at Hell in the Cell was pretty decent.
It was Randy Orton.
But, I mean, it's because Orton is a talented wrestler. Cena... He's very stiff and mechanical. He can't sell an injury. He's a terrible actor. His character is completely stale and boring and bland.
I always love the Cena shocked face. Like,
yeah. Well, what about
his match with Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania was good.
He doesn't even sell the match because when two wrestlers start to have a feud with one another, they're supposed to sell the conflict between the two of them.
Yeah.
And Cena just sits there and smirks like, I'm not afraid of you. I know I'm going to win anyway. It's annoying.
Yeah.
The face that he makes when he puts his submission hold on. Looks like he's constipated.
Oh, and by the way, that submission hold is the worst move
it does
I've
not
ever
look
seen. It does
painful
not
at all.
look like it. It doesn't look like it hurts. It just looks like he's got his arms like this around your head, loose enough that it's not choking you or anything. And then he's got your leg back in a position that doesn't even hurt your fucking leg in any way. So I don't even understand his submission maneuver. It's just boring. I don't even know what his finishing move is, but that 5-knuckle whatever bullshit, 5 moves of doom or whatever the fuck it's called.
Well, that's the 5-knuckle shuffle, and that's one of his 5 moves of doom.
Right. And they're just boring and bland. And he's just a boring guy. He's not very interesting or charismatic. I don't understand. I was about to say I don't understand his popularity, but he really doesn't have much popularity except among little kids.
Yeah.
And I guess women who I suppose find him attractive, even though his head looks like a goddamn bucket turned upside down. I don't even understand that.
Let's hear a little more about him.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Here's a great matches with CM Punk. He had a great match with Rob Van Dam at the second ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view. He had great matches with Shawn Michaels. I remember them going for an hour on Raw one time. It was great.
This guy kind of sounds like true empiricism, like his voice.
Maybe it is true.
Yeah,
That's why he has to hide himself. He's a closet fan of the Drunken Peasants.
Yeah, maybe so.
He had a good match with Umaga, which was which was a last man standing match at one of the Royal Rumbles. And he had a great match with Daniel Bryan 2 years ago at SummerSlam. So I was just wondering if you had a favorite John Cena match, and wondering if what gets on your nerves about Cena is his character and that he's always on top, or do you actually think he's just a terrible, awful wrestler?
All of the above. My favorite John Cena match is every match that John Cena's not in.
There you go.
All right, moving on.
Moving on up.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, I have a couple questions.
No!
First off,
I was apprehensive about playing this video because he's got, like, Marilyn Manson playing in the background, but I guess it's so faint that we probably...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
All right.
TJ, what's your favorite Marilyn Manson album? Do you like older Manson, or are you really anticipating his new album that's coming out?
I like older Manson and I like newer Manson. I mean, there's really like a very distinctive split in like Manson eras, I guess. Like I don't know what it like. There was it was kind of like the earlier career was more like in terms of like lyrical content and stuff, and just like the tone of shit was more about looking outward at society and making critiques, and then his more recent stuff, probably from like Eat Me, Drink Me On, has been more about like personal stuff and his reflections and introspections and stuff. And I appreciate both of those, although I think Eat Me, Drink Me itself is a pretty weak album. But I am anticipating The Pale Emperor, new Manson album coming out January 20th.
Yeah, in stores.
Available for
January 20th.
pre-order now at MarilynManson.com.
Order now.
Gotta pimp my man, son. But yeah. Yep.
Have you ever heard of Motionless in White? A lot of people say their new album sounds like him. It's really good. And then, do you like Slipknot or anything like that? And my second question is...
That was a lot of questions.
Yeah. Well,
Motionless in White. Yes, I've heard of them.
I've heard of them. I've kind of seen a little bit, and I didn't like automatically have like a detesting of it or something, but it didn't really like speak to me or anything. But I haven't like delved into it either.
Do you remember Dope? They were like,
oh yeah,
they kind of tried to sound like Portrait of an American Family style Manson,
right.
I think.
A little bit. I could see that. But their lyrics were like dumb as fuck compared to Manson lyrics.
They were very generic.
It was very like generic bland stuff. Wednesday 13 kind of had a Manson thing going on too. As for Slipknot, I mean, I enjoy some Slipknot, but I'm not like a huge fan. I think their newer stuff sounds crappy.
They just stole Mushroom Head's idea.
Mushroom Head.
Yeah.
That's
that is kind of true.
That's obscure.
Because Mushroom was always kind of more one of those bands where they're like, even though they had a lot of members, it was always more kind of the laid back music.
They were from Cleveland, so they were huge here. And then when Slipknot came out, everyone was like, "What is this Mushroom Head ripoff?"
Yeah.
Well, it's just because Slipknot happened to get
More popular.
More popular.
Oh, they're definitely more
quickly.
popular than Mushroomhead. Now.
Well, Mushroomhead is like, you fucking say Mushroomhead to most people, they're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slipknot, I think most people would recognize.
Oh, for sure.
Is if the purge were real, would any of you guys participate? How would you participate? Except
Yeah, I don't know what the purge is, so I'm going to move on to the
Okay,
next
but
question.
by the way, just for reference, like, it's a bad idea to play music during your question because we're a lot more reluctant to use it just because we're afraid of getting flagged.
Yeah, and music is the most common reason we would get flagged.
Right. And if we get flagged for this, we're not fucking doing it ever again. So,
right.
Yeah. I don't think it playing in the background will do it, but I mean,
we never know.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Don't send us questions with music in the background.
and then we have to edit the video, and then if we get flagged enough, then we're gone. So
Yeah, so no.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't fucking do it.
Don't play music in the background. Thank you.
Hello, Drunken Peasants. I have 2 questions for you.
No!
The first question is, in an episode of Futurama, there's this creature that if you look at his face, he feeds off your life energy and kills you.
Okay.
And in another, so is Ben one of those creatures? Because he never ever shows his face on camera.
I think so.
Also,
Yeah, I actually have said that if you look at Ben's face directly, you will melt.
Yes. That's why neither TJ nor Scotty make eye contact with me while we're doing the show.
Okay, Ben. That's nice, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, one time I made eye contact for a second, and I felt I had a migraine for 3 days afterwards. So we've carefully avoided looking directly at Ben. And it's not that Ben is like ugly or something. It's actually the sheer splendor of his face. It's like if you look at the face of God, you die. If you look at the face of Ben, you don't die immediately if you look away quickly.
Well, what happens is that your erection grows so big that it just like explodes, and then you die.
And the blood is drained from the rest of your body instantly. Yeah.
There you go.
Same thing happens to women. They grow a penis, and then it explodes.
Well, their clitoris just becomes so engorged that it becomes a functional penis.
And it was introduced to me that some people that are atheists could believe in God.
No.
Like at the boundaries of our knowledge, like anything could be God. I'm not sure if you guys think this theory is kind of like.
That's not really even a theory.
I don't care.
That's like that's like some semantic claptrap that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, and that's not even what an atheist is. If you say I believe in God,
Then you're automatically not an atheist because atheist by definition is lacking a belief in a god or gods. So no.
Thanks for the question.
Now,
Hey,
fuck off.
Hey, Ben, TJ, Scotty. Anybody else?
Show your
who's
face,
guest
coward.
star today?
You are a coward. Faceless like a
I was watching
man.
the Archfiend's more recent video where he's talking about death threats and how they're not taken very seriously anymore.
Uh-huh.
I was just wondering, like, what were your thoughts? Have you seen the video?
No.
Do you think that he's right? Do you think that maybe we don't take death threats as seriously as we used to?
I don't take them seriously.
Or that maybe this is a good or bad thing? Just asking for your guys' opinions. Alright.
I don't take death threats seriously. I've never seen the Archfiend's video.
Any threat should be evaluated based upon a number of factors. Anyone can make a threat. Someone can say, I'm going to go do this. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you can't just listen to every crazy thing that comes out of every person's mouth. I mean, how many people threaten to go, I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to shoot up a school or whatever? If we went in, if you actually sent out someone to, like, let's investigate each one, it'd be much times like, well, that guy was drunk, or that guy was just being stupid, or whatever. I don't think that you should give every threat, this big, push and kind of credence, give it a lot of credence and, act like, oh, yeah, this something we should really look into. I mean, and that's kind of the issue here is, like, how you determine that. I mean, I think it's just kind of like part of it has to be instinct and part of it has to be, like, is there actually a willingness? Is this a repeated pattern? Is someone always saying they're going to do something? There's just a number of issues and factors you have to look into with any threat.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right.
I mean, obviously, if someone makes a threat and then it's not investigated and then they carry it out, then the authorities will be blamed for not doing it. But, I mean, it's like,
Well,
how many threats are made against the president every year?
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
thousands. Thousands of threats.
But those are normally addressed.
Right. Usually those are investigated. But I mean, most of them are anonymous. You're never even going to find out who sent them in the first place.
Sure.
But I mean, the threats, anyone can make a threat. I can make a threat. Ben can make a threat. Scotty can make a threat. This guy can make a threat.
You know, and threats aren't necessarily even deadly. You know, I can threaten Ben right now. Ben, I'll piss on the fucking floor here. And I mean, like, is he going to really put any credence to that? No, he's just going to say, okay, well, it's still a threat, but it's very unlikely to happen. It's not going to worry about it.
Yeah, Ben's not going to be sitting there like, man, is Scotty really going to piss on my floor?
Yeah, I mean, like, if he stood up and pulled his dick out, then maybe I'd be pretty worried about it.
That's what I'm saying, of
It's
course.
like, holy shit, Scotty, stop.
Yeah, like, don't
do this.
What the fuck is wrong with you? That's what I'm saying.
What's happened with Scotty? He's fucked up. Yeah. Next.
All right.
Hello, Drunken Peasants. I'm
Fallout
just
rules.
wondering, like, what your favorite Fallout game is, and what you think about
New Vegas.
the events that are going on about Fallout 4. So
I don't know what events are going on.
Okay, one, Bethesda doesn't release any information about games, and every rumor about Fallout 4 has turned out to be shit. So unless you work or know someone works at Bethesda and have some inside line, no one fucking knows. And Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never even played the games.
Blasphemy!
Blasphemy!
Blasphemy! Send Ben to Pakistan.
Shit.
Burn Ben. Hashtag burn Ben.
Yeah, hashtag burn Ben.
Hashtag send Ben to Pakistan.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. I recently got suspended at school for walking into
Cool.
the office and saying legalized crystal weed. So I was wondering
weed.
That's
what
pretty
some of
awesome.
your strangest experiences getting in trouble at school were.
First off, where can you get some of this crystal weed?
Yeah, crystallized
Sounds
weed.
pretty amazing.
I want it.
School stories, TJ.
In trouble at school?
Yeah, in trouble at school.
I was suspended once. It wasn't for any one thing. It was just more like they just looked at my overall track record of incidents and were like, we're going to suspend you based on the fact that you're always having these little problems.
Yeah. What
And
about
I
you,
actually,
Ben?
I was
wait,
so,
you're not done.
I was so scared when I got suspended that I had a fucking panic attack in the principal's office and like couldn't feel my legs and shit.
Wow.
What the hell?
I don't know why,
You're an idiot, TJ.
but I fucking freaked the fuck out.
My life is over. How old were you?
I don't know, like 13 or 14.
Oh, that's probably why. What about you, Ben?
There's a few instances. There's a few times where I was like out of dress code for Catholic school. Like I was wearing eyeliner or wearing a skirt or something like that. Got in trouble for that a few times. Painted nails. There was one time because we had to pray before every class, and I never prayed in school. But you got to raise your hand and pray for something in front of class. And I stood up and I was like, I just think I pray to the Lord Jesus Christ that someday we legalize public masturbation. And I got in some pretty deep shit for that.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, it's an honest prayer.
Yeah.
Come on.
I
Literally.
remember I was
literally,
in school,
come on.
And I realized, like, if you got into a fight at school, you could go home early. So I just would get into fights on, like, every Friday morning for, like, I didn't do it, like, I was smart enough to realize I couldn't do it every week, but I made sure to do it 2 or 3 times in a year, where I would just be like, you know what, I don't want to go to school for the rest of the day. I don't want to take a test. I'll just get into a fight and punch some kid in the face, and then I'll just, go home.
Wow.
And I did.
People are saying I'm a trap and a tranny.
Maybe at one point.
Yeah, at one point.
I've seen pictures of young Ben, and yeah, maybe then, but not now.
No. No, way
I'm not saying that like in an insulting way.
No. I'm just way more masculine. I don't know what happened if like someone like accidentally gave me like a testosterone shot one day.
Because Ben, I've seen pictures of young Ben, and he looks like he really is kind of like trappy and shit, but now, no.
Right.
He's more like you would never fucking look at Ben and be like, what a girly looking dude.
Right.
At all.
Not at all.
All right. Next one. He like turned on a vibrator or something.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Is that his phone or?
I don't know what it is.
Happy to see us.
I watched this earlier, and this guy, he just loves you, TJ.
Okay.
He wants to make love to you, TJ.
Physically or?
Yeah.
Basically,
Oh, TJ.
in this video, he just kind of like compliments you the whole video.
Okay.
So I thought you'd like
she
to
just
see
like,
it.
play this.
Yeah.
Play the fucking video. Jesus Christ, what are we waiting
She's
for
like,
here?
What are we waiting for?
Yeah.
The thing is that he spends like the first 20 seconds of the video setting up his camera, which is vibrating for some reason.
That's strange. Okay.
Okay.
Hey TJ, hey Scotty, hey Ben. Just want to let TJ know that I'm a really big fan of his. I've watched, I think, almost all of his videos.
Brainwashed sycophants.
Not really
Shut
like
up, Scotty.
a nerd about it, but I do admire you, TJ. I just wanted to make acknowledgement to that.
Yeah.
I've also been aspiring to learn a lot from you. I also think you're second to George Carlin, and
Second.
just want to like
Fuck that. George Carlin isn't fit to lick my ass.
You're second to a dead guy.
Well, he's
TJ.
dead, TJ, so he can't lick your ass anyways.
That's true.
make a tribute out to you. I
Sweet.
did the American slogan or whatever thing, but no, I have great respect for you, man. Just want to let you know that.
Yeah.
Ben, you're awesome, and Scotty, you're as cool as fuck.
But not as cool as me.
Besides all that mushy shit, just have two questions.
All right.
What this is for TJ, both of the questions.
Yeah.
What would you do if Justin Bieber wanted to fight you when he saw you on the street because he seen you talk shit about him on your videos in the past?
I wouldn't even know. I would, yeah.
First of all, he probably has gigantic armed bodyguards.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey.
But I mean, he's not talking about his bodyguard. He's saying just Justin Bieber.
Okay, just you versus Justin Bieber. Well, you'd obviously win.
Well, I wouldn't even fight Justin Bieber. I mean,
what if he attacked you though?
Oh well, that's
I
a
would
different
no.
story.
I would just hold him at arm's length and laugh at him.
That'd be awesome.
While he's swinging.
Come on, man. Calm down, Justin. Calm down.
It's okay, Justin. I made money on those
videos.
videos.
With you, man.
I was just doing it for the money. I don't even give a fuck about your existence. I'm sorry.
You can make that Limp Bizkit song. I did it all for the nookie, man. Come on.
Yeah, and then I'd rape him.
He had a personal grudge against you. Be imaginative as you like, and all try to mimic how you were in your younger days.
No, not gonna
Second
do that.
question: in America, what do you think society wants a perfect human to be? Or in your opinion, what do you personally see a perfect human to be?
You know, I mean, as we kind of discussed earlier when we were talking about like the transgender stuff, and like human behavior encompasses a wide gamut of different things, and there really is like everyone's going to have their own personal and individual idea of perfection.
Sure.
And I mean, a lot of people are really uncomfortable with that level of subjectivity, but that's just the way it fucking is.
Well, that's kind of the nature of perception.
Right. I mean, human perception is subjective. And there's nothing that anyone can say or do that's going to somehow make it an objective fact that this is the way to be or that's the way to be. There just isn't that. That doesn't really exist in this world. I mean, I have my opinion, I can share it, and if you agree with me, then we have an intersubjective consensus as to what that should be, but you know, the reality is that there's no objective standard. And in terms of what society wants, I mean, society is made of disparate parts of different individuals from different backgrounds, different socioeconomic statuses, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, so many different
with different
things,
agendas, right? So society doesn't have one way it wants you to be. Nor is there any one standard of how you should be. I mean, like the guy who we had on last week's show, even though I wasn't here, I saw it, who was saying the Earth doesn't rotate and that, you know, it's all this, there's like the heavens themselves are included in the Earth and shit. I mean, that guy obviously sees that as the way to be, and you know, obviously a lot of people would disagree with him. But ultimately, it's a subjective thing. I mean, well, the reality of the Earth rotating is not subjective, but it's a subjective thing whether or not it's the proper thing to believe that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this is true, but a lot of people were commenting that was also some sort of Nazi belief.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no clue as to whether or not that has Nazi
I don't
origins or
waste
not.
time on conspiracy theories.
All right. So next question.
Hey guys, just first day. I'm just kidding. Okay. Hey, Drunken Peasants. What are your favorite books? Also, who are your favorite authors? Thanks, fellas.
Why is the camera?
Oh, it's that. That's funny, dude. You've been making YouTube videos for how many years, and you don't even know what that is? It's like if you take a video that's shaky, YouTube will adjust it automatically.
Yeah, but
the downside is that the border of the video kind of shifts around, and it looks all trippy.
More distracting.
Yeah.
But okay, I guess I've never experienced that because
You have a tripod?
Yeah, I mean, and my videos are not shaky pieces of shit.
Except for your first one.
Right.
Yeah, in the drive.
But I don't think YouTube had that feature, though.
I'm going to pace back and forth 300 times.
He's using YouTube's built-in editor.
Right, okay, I gotcha.
Or editing software that has image stabilization.
But, I mean, what we're not even answering his question here.
Yeah.
Favorite books? I mean, I actually am friends with the author of one of my favorite books, which is The Lucifer Principle by Howard Bloom.
Howard Bloom.
And I think that's a brilliant book.
The Global Brain
Look,
is another good
I
book
will
he
freely admit that Howard Bloom has some crazy out there fucking ideas sometimes, but
second law of thermodynamics.
yeah, right. But I mean, if you read The Lucifer Principle, if you read The Global Brain, I would say even some. I mean, I don't know about some of the works he's done after that. I mean, I've enjoyed them, but those two in particular, I think, are pretty maybe not flawless, but very difficult to counter or to contradict or to make any cogent argument against.
Yeah, I'd recommend anyone,
especially
even
the
if they don't
Lucifer
like
Principle.
Howard Bloom or his videos, definitely read the Lucifer Principle.
I would say
It's a great book.
LSD started the 60s more than Howard did.
Right. How his book How I Started the 60s. I mean, no, you didn't start the 60s.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, we love you, Howard, but that's not what happened.
just not true. You could say you were part of it. I'm fine with that.
Or
but-
influential.
Influential. You did some stuff that was important, sure, but you didn't start it. That's hyperbole to the max. But we know that Howard Bloom is very self-promotional. And then I enjoyed Catcher in the Rye. I know that's kind of a cliche answer, but I did like that book. I'm a big fan of Stephen King. I like the Dresden Files books by Jim Butcher, although I still haven't read the most recent one, even though I bought it fucking ages ago. Which is weird, because every other one I had... But I haven't been reading a lot lately. I'm just haven't had... I don't want to say I haven't had the time, because that would be bullshit, but I just haven't had much of the inclination to just sit down and read books. I guess my fucking attention span is just totally stunted.
Yeah, the internet has destroyed your brain.
Right.
I would say the obvious one. I like Christopher Hitchens' books.
Hitchens is good.
A great writer.
And I've read... I mean, it's hard, because I've read a lot of books, but usually I only end up reading one book by any particular author, and usually it's people that I don't remember the names of afterwards. If I actually had my collection of books here in front of me, I could pull out all the ones I've read and talk about them, but just going off my memory, I can't really
I'm kind of the
summon
same
it
problem.
as much.
I'm thinking about the books. You know what we need to do? We need to go make a list of it and actually... We actually should do that.
I have all my books out on my floor downstairs in my bedroom, so maybe I'll just make a video for like TJ Does Life or something where I'll go through and talk about some of the ones I've liked.
As far as nonfiction goes, I read it. I like autobiographies, so obviously, reading about someone's life from their own perspective is really interesting to me. Things like ex-presidents and that sort of thing. For fiction, I was really into the Dragonlance Chronicles, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, which now there's like thousands of books for because other authors took over, and there's prequels and alternate timelines and minor characters going off and becoming major characters in their own series. So I would have to say, as far as fiction goes, the Dragonlance Chronicles.
Cool.
Yep.
I think we've adequately answered this question.
Yes.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. This is Ed Dog, the Autistic Atheist, and I have two questions
The
for you.
Autistic Atheist.
Actually, I've noticed that a lot of atheists are on the autism spectrum.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think Einstein was on the autism spectrum somewhere, actually.
Was he ever actually diagnosed?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
That I do not know, but I've heard that. So
First
it could be bullshit or
Dry
true.
County, should they be abolished?
Yes.
And my opinion on this is based on the First and 21st Amendment of the Constitution. Number one, the state should not and will not establish a religion or religious beliefs.
Okay, so we can easily answer this question.
Well, I mean, we're all drunken peasants. So.
Right. A dry county? No. You can't just take a county and say, well, people do it, so I guess they can, but they shouldn't be able to.
Why not?
I think that, whenever you have these, I don't think, like, for the same reason that a specific community should not be able to say, like, we're going to ban these books or something. They shouldn't be able to ban
we're going to ban,
a substance that is otherwise legal.
We're going to ban, people of a certain race, whatever, yeah.
Right. I mean, if people want to drink alcohol, people should have that available to them to drink. And I believe that about all drugs, actually.
Yeah, prohibition of any kind.
I'm not really a prohibition guy, unless there's some demonstrable consequence to others. Like, I believe that if you want to do heroin, you should have the right to do heroin because that's your body and that's your choice. But if you think you have the right to steal from someone to pay for your heroin habit, then you're
wrong.
crossing the line because your actions are affecting others against their will, and it violates the principle of consent, which I hold to be the highest form of morality, with maybe a few exceptions. But for the most part, I think consent is a good basis for morality. I mean, obviously, you don't want to have a moral code that's so simple that it just consists of one core principle. But I think that's a pretty good starting point. And, alcohol, obviously, if I want all drugs legal, I obviously want alcohol to be available to people.
All right, yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Sure.
We all agree on this one.
No, we don't.
Hello, Drunken Peasants. I've got 2 questions for you today.
Okay.
Question 1
Nice
is,
TARDIS.
who is your favourite South Park character out of all of them? My favourite's Tweak. I think he's hilarious, really funny. He should definitely return in a newer episode. And my second question...
Do you have a favorite South Park character?
I like a lot of characters on South Park. I just have to say it was a 3-way tie.
Ooh, a 3-way.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I would say Eric Cartman is fucking...
Cartman is the best character
hilarious.
on the show.
I think Randy Marsh...
Randy is my favorite.
Randy is a great character, too.
Randy's pretty funny. And he's not really a funny character usually, but I kind of just like Kyle. So...
Lame.
I like... He's kind of like the voice of reason
TJ
in
just
the heart
loves
of the
Jews.
show.
That's his problem.
And I also love the interplay between Kyle and Cartman. It's just fucking hilarious. That's like the greatest comedy duo because they just despise each other inherently.
Yeah, he's kind of like Cartman's straight man,
Right.
in a way.
And I think you need that. And he also, I kind of think, provides like the moral center of the show and stuff. And I think that's actually pretty important to South Park because they're constantly trying to have like a bigger message to what they're doing. And they are kind of a preachy show.
Randy Marsh was probably the funniest part about the Stick of Truth game.
Well, Randy is a hilarious character.
Yeah.
I would say that definitely, if you're going to talk about the funniest characters on South Park, it's got to be Cartman or Randy.
Yeah, I like the episode where Randy keeps getting into fights at Stan's baseball games.
Yeah. I thought this was America.
Communist country. Yeah.
What's his second question?
Is which Mega Man game is your favorite, if any of them?
Mega Man 3.
I was going to go with 3 as well.
I do like the Mega Man X games, too.
Yeah, I like Mega Man X. Mega Man 3 was good as well.
I like the Mega Man games, but fuck, they're so damn hard.
They are hard.
Dude,
the first 4 Mega Man games are insane.
You know
hard.
what? Yeah. Back in the day, it was because, like, that's all you got, man. Like you like they have these 8 levels or whatever it is, and it's what you get.
Those platforming side-scrolling games like Ninja Gaiden was also insanely
hard. Oh my god, yeah. Fuck that shit.
Countless hours of failure.
Yes. All right, next.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. I was wondering if any of you guys spoke a different language. Thanks.
No.
Monolingual people here.
No.
We have 2 more questions, so I guess we'll get through them. Even though our show did run a little bit longer than I wanted it to. But
can't always get what you want.
Can't always get what you want.
Yeah, so none of us speak another language fluently. I know basic pleasantries in a few different languages, but not enough to hold a conversation.
No, you don't. You're a liar. Next question.
And mainly that's because we're American and they don't teach us foreign languages until we're in high school.
We're from America.
And the standards of learning those languages in high school are extremely low.
We'll quote Marilyn Manson, or I will anyway.
Yeah.
We're from America. We're from America. We speak American.
That's it.
Hey, DP.
Sweet. Wearing a Star Trek shirt and smoking weed.
Smoking tobacco, if I ever saw it.
The perfectly legal tobacco, which is legal.
Yeah.
He's wearing a Star Trek uniform and he's Scottish, so we should just call him Scotty from now on.
He's the new Scotty. Scotty,
Yeah.
get the fuck out
Well,
of here.
Man, fuck y'all.
I was just wanting your opinion on NATO's expansion. Whereas before they were sort of a peacekeeping effort, now, you know, they're getting more and more sort of encroaching on Russia. And I saw an interview with Noam Chomsky, and he was saying that it could escalate to another Cold War. So basically, I'm just wanting your opinions on that. Smoke pan every day.
There's
Right.
always a Cold
Smoke
War.
tobacco every day. Is what you should say.
There's always a Cold War looming on the horizon, it seems, really.
I mean, of course, Noam Chomsky's going to say that. He believes the United States is a terrorist state. So, I mean, I'm not surprised he would say that. And obviously, Russia and the U.S. have never really been fast friends. And NATO is obviously seen as an extension of the U.S. power. And
if he's going to
the
say
region.
America's a terrorist state, I think he has to say that Russia and China are terrorist
he does.
states, too.
I'm sure he would say that.
Okay.
I'm sure he would say that.
Well, then that's fair. But, I don't really know much about NATO, so I'd be pretty...
NATO does a lot of things in the interest of the U.S. government, only under a different name.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
That's a good way of explaining NATO.
Yeah. Like, one example is the bombings of Belgrade in Serbia. That was technically NATO, but most of the people that live in Serbia
Because
look at it as if the Americans bombed them directly.
A coalition.
Right. All right, next one.
Last
hey guys, I have 2 questions for you.
No.
The first one being, which series of Batman movies did you guys prefer between Tim Burton's Batman
Chris
movies and Christopher Nolan's Batman movies?
Not even a contest.
And
What was the last one that Tim Burton did? Was that the second Batman? Was that Batman Returns?
He did Batman and Batman
He did
Returns.
Okay.
And Joel Schumacher.
Yeah, we don't even put those up there.
Schumacher's just fuck that.
You know?
But the movies did come out. I mean, I'm not saying that they're any good.
No,
I'm just
they didn't
saying.
I like Michael Keaton as Batman. I don't know.
I thought Michael Keaton was a boring Batman.
Yeah, I think Chris Nolan's vision was way better. I
think it was more realistic.
Sure.
I do think that I just think, but not even just more realistic, but just more intelligent and thematically more well composed. I think visually Tim Burton's movies are superior, and they definitely had kind of a cool tone to them.
Yeah,
and I think that the Burton movies are good.
I think when you compare them, I mean, if you list the pros and cons, the Burton movies are going to have very few pros over the Chris Nolan series.
There's such a difference too, because you're talking the late '80s and then the early 2000s. There's like
But I mean, obviously the director's styles are very different as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, like if you are more into, I would say
Burton is more stylized,
right? I mean, if you're into the hyper stylized, like super gothic Tim Burton shit before it got so hackneyed and cliche, then I would say you might find the Burton movies more entertaining. But for me, I like the more like cerebral, thematically complex Nolan films with their. I mean, like I especially like the first two, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. I thought The Dark Knight Rises had quite a few problems.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still okay.
But I still found it entertaining.
So you're throwing in with Nolan, TJ?
I got to throw in with
What
Nolan
about you,
for
Ben?
me.
I'm kind of on the fence because I like both of them for what they are, and one of them obviously has more of a nostalgia factor for me, because I remember, being a kid in 1989, when that movie came out, it was like one of the most anticipated movies of my childhood. So I don't know. Honestly, I'm on the fence about it. I like both of them. I can see the faults in both of them. The worst thing about the Nolan Batmans is I don't really like Christian Bale's Batman voice.
Yeah, well, I thought it was okay in Batman Begins when it was more like a throaty whisper, like when he's like, it was more like I'm Batman.
It's got like laryngitis.
But then in The Dark Knight, it transformed from that to like, I'm Batman. Like, why would Batman sound like that?
But you know
but
what?
the coolest Batman voice is definitely from the animated series.
Yeah. I was say, but you know what? I mean, everyone knows in The Dark Knight that Joker made the movie. He stole the movie.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, this guy has a second question.
Yeah, I think so.
Second question is, who is your favorite female character in all of comic books? Like, my favorite is Harley Quinn, as you could tell by my phone case. So, those are...
Yeah, Harley Quinn is so popular. I remember when we went to Comic-Con, I saw like 20 Harley Quinn costumes.
And that was the interesting thing about that is she actually did not originate in the comics. She originated in the animated series.
Was that really?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I used to watch that every day after school.
Yep. She was actually. I mean, she was just, and originally she was just going to be like a random Joker henchman that probably wasn't even, supposed to appear again. But
wasn't she like a psychiatrist that had like Stockholm syndrome for the Joker?
Right.
Basically?
That is her backstory. That wasn't.
Is it Stockholm syndrome? Or
I don't know. Not Stockholm.
Or is it Florence Nightingale syndrome?
I forget.
Something like that.
But it's some shit like that where she just became obsessed with him. As for my favorite female comic book character, I don't know. I would probably go. No, I mean it's really cliche, but I would probably go with Wonder Woman because I like the lasso, I like the outfit,
You like the whole bondage thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of bondage elements to the early.
She's got
Wonder
like
Woman comics.
the handcuff thing. She can like block bullets.
And actually, the guy that created Wonder Woman was like a female supremacist.
Really?
Yes. And he believed that, we were going to live in a matriarchal society at some point. And
she was like the queen of the Amazon.
Yeah, and he was actually anticipating that, probably for very fetishistic reasons, actually. But no, I think she's an interesting character. And, even though she's a very feminist character, which a lot of people would, I guess, think that I'd have like some problems with or something, but I think she's interesting.
Yeah. One quick side note. Did you like the Linda Carter portrayal of Wonder Woman? Did you ever watch it? I know it's kind of dated.
I've only seen little clips of it here and there, but I thought it was okay.
She definitely looked the part.
Yeah.
For me, female comic book characters. Let's see. I like Lady Death. And
Lady Death is cool.
Yeah. As far as like mainstream, like Marvel, DC, I probably like Psylocke the best, and that's purely for like pervy reasons. She was probably like the hottest female comic book character, in my opinion.
I can't really think of any that come to mind, so.
Show's over.
Yep.
All right.
Scotty don't like no bitches.
Don't forget to go to Patreon/DP
That's
to
more
support
you,
the show. We'll be back on Friday. And you know what? Before we forget, we have to
poll,
go to...
right.
Yep. So...
It looks like we got about 1,500 votes.
Drum roll.
And the vast majority seem to be yes, but for no longer than 30 to 60 minutes.
All right, so we'll try to make it happen.
Yeah, we'll get in contact with Mario. Probably not the next show, but one of the up-and-coming shows.
Mario.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Share this video. It really helps out a lot.
Share this to random people on a subway. Force them to watch it. At gunpoint, even.